There can be only one.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. All out of bubblegum.
Go ahead. Make my day. Cinema Royale.
Hello and welcome to the Cinema Royale Holiday Special. I'm your host, Mike Mixtape. Yes, this is the Holiday Special, our first ever one. It's way better than the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Implying that the ones beforehand have not been better than the Star Wars Holiday Special?
No, because we're going to be a
First
better
one that
version
is?
of droning people just going out.
How is that different?
Oh, I guess it's
We'll
the
do
same.
it better. We got
Because we
less
do it
hair.
Christmassy like? Oh, I see.
Yeah, we got less fur. Anyways,
Well, maybe you do, but...
let me introduce you to my lovely film aficionados here. So,
Lovely.
let's start off with the lovely lady known as Jada. And the man who's reading a Bioshock
I don't
book,
have a state.
Matt Brunet.
Hey, guys. In honor of the Christmas spirit, I decided to do one of my best impersonations of America's favorite old fart, reading a book in front of a fireplace. I just had to do it. I saw Scrooge not too long ago. I just thought
For the
that
first
line was
time?
amazing. No.
Oh.
Okay, whoa, calm.
Oh, no.
Don't want to have a situation here with that.
It's just a really good quote. So, like...
It's a really good movie. Is anybody going to talk about Scrooge tonight?
Maybe not. We'll definitely find out. Just before we go on, James will be here eventually. He had something to do. He's going to be late. So whatever happens, it happens. Anyways.
So don't worry, guys. This episode will have a sponsor.
Just after a long time in the middle of the podcast. Oh boy. So, it's the holidays. It's after Christmas, so I figure Cinema Royale gets to celebrate Christmas a little later than usual, since this is going to be our last episode of 2014 and the last episode of Season 2 of Cinema Royale. So, let's just think about these Christmas classics. Let's start off with a classic, of course, from 1987, A Muppet Family Christmas. Jada, take it away.
Yes. A Muppet Family Christmas, one of my favorite Christmas classics from childhood, another of which I'll talk about later, but right now, let's talk about Muppets. And not just Muppets. No, wait. Okay, they're all Muppets, but it's not just Muppet Show Muppets. See, the thing of it is, all the Muppets are coming together to celebrate Christmas at Fozzie's mom's house, right? And Fozzie's mom's house is where Fozzie's mom lives. Let me start over. Okay, the Muppets are going to Fozzie's mom's house, and Fozzie's mom, not knowing this, is going off on vacation and renting her home out to this nice old man, who is actually the nice old man, and the dog Sprocket from Fraggle Rock. Now, I don't know the old man's name because I never watched Fraggle Rock, but I do know the dog and I know the Fraggle characters, so I appreciate the fact that they're at least included, because really... No, I'll get to that later. Okay. So the Muppets are spending Christmas together. Partway through the celebrations, who should come in and away but the Sesame Street Gang. And the Sesame Street Gang comes in and they're celebrating Christmas with the Muppets. And then the Fraggles show up, and then it's like this big Christmas celebration at this one house with all of the Jim Henson creations that exist at the time, because I'm pretty sure this was before dinosaurs. So it's all of them. It's the Fraggles, it's the Sesame Street Gang,
Yeah, it is. Dinosaurs
and
is
it's
the
Muppets.
90s, so...
Yeah.
Right. So, everything that Jim Henson created. And it's like this big, huge Christmassy celebration of all things Jim Henson, and it's funny and it's got some great moments and good songs, although the songs are pretty much just covers of typical Christmas songs like Jingle Bell Rock and
or like Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
Happy Holidays!
Happy Holidays! My favorite part, though, my favorite parts are the parts where the Muppets and the Sesame Street characters interact, because we don't see a lot of that, especially nowadays, now that they're owned by two different companies. God, I miss Kermit the Frog on Sesame Street. I really do. It's just not the same without Kermit, you know? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the interactions between the Sesame Street characters and the old man from Fraggle Rock and the Muppet characters, my favorite one, though, is the one where the Swedish chef, like, throughout the special, he's trying to get a turkey, right?
Yep.
Because he wants to make a turkey for Christmas dinner. So
Yeah.
he's, like, chasing this turkey around,
Yep.
trying to kill it. And then he sees Big Bird.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
And he loses it because he's like, oh my god! No, not oh my god. He goes, her birdie bird! Gerber gerber humonger! And he tries to get Big Bird. But it's not like a comedic thing like you would think. What it is Big Bird goes to the kitchen and he talks with Swedish Chef, and I don't want to give it away because I want to recommend this special to everybody. But what happens is like so sweet and the nicest, most Christmassy thing you can imagine, and it sets up the Christmassy tone of the movie perfectly, as well as the fact that the Sesame Street characters are beacons of innocence that should be preserved and cherished. Because I really love Sesame Street, okay, guys? But this is still really good. And maybe not everyone's heard of it, not everyone's seen it, but by God, everyone should.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm definitely with you on that. I am a major Muppet fan. Muppets Christmas Carol is one of my favorite Muppet movies, and definitely, but I think but there definitely is a charm to Muppets Family Christmas, and I think one of the things about it is that, like you mentioned, it's not every day that we see this major crossover of the Muppets, Sesame Street, and Fraggle Rock. Like we all, like everybody loves crossovers, no matter what they are, whether they be for movies, TV, or even internet reviewers. Funny enough, um,
Mm-hmm.
everybody loves crossovers,
Yep.
and yeah, and like that's definitely the charm that we finally get to see. Like it's not just Kermit, but all the people in the Muppets going out to interact with the lovable characters in Sesame Street, or even in Fraggle Rock. It's like one big crossover of family fate, like not family, well, like of childhood characters coming together.
I should say the Fraggles don't really interact with most of the characters. They pretty much just interact with Kermit and Robin.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Well, like they were there.
Yeah, they were there. They
Yeah.
had their turn in the
Yeah.
spotlight.
Yeah, but I think the biggest
Indeed.
thing, but like, if I remember correctly, the Fraggle Rock was relatively one of the newer Jim Henson projects. So like the big key thing is the Muppets and Sesame Street coming together.
Yeah. Which is, again, it's not the first time they've done that. It's just one of the biggest times, if not the biggest, because it was all the Muppets and
Yeah,
all
it
of
was. Yeah,
Sesame
that's the
Street.
thing. It's all the Muppets and all the Sesame Street characters. I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
technically, like,
It's
you still have those moments where Kermit was a member of Sesame Street. Like, sure, you had those
mm-hmm.
times, but it wouldn't really be considered a crossover. In fact, funny enough, when you think about that, like that would make the Muppet Show possibly the most famous spin-off show ever created.
Spin-off show.
Because like Kermit was a character that already existed in Sesame Street,
Is
and
straight.
that
now
true?
he has his yeah
It would make sense
because he
actually.
started in 1955 with Sam and Friends, and then he went into Sesame Street, and then he has his own show in the Muppet Show. So in theory, like the Muppet Show could be um, one of the biggest and most famous spin-off shows ever created in a way. Know what I mean?
Ah. Yep.
I,
Well, this special was actually shot in Toronto. If you guys knew that.
in Toronto? Hmm.
Yeah. So it
Everything
was
was
shot in
shot in
Canada.
Toronto, okay? That's not a surprise. Toronto is like the shooting place. It's where you shoot things.
Yeah, like cans, people. Oh, you mean filming? Or, oh, yes, definitely.
And actually, apparently the Muppet Babies are in this as well.
Yes, they are. That the puppets of Muppet Babies. There's the scene where they like look at some
Yep.
old. I think they just had the little puppets from Muppets Take Manhattan left over, and were like, let's just use these
Yeah.
again. I think it was
Yeah,
still
why
before
not?
the
Yeah.
cartoons. Although
I
they,
believe
No,
so, yeah.
no, the cartoon was before. Like it
Oh
was
yeah, it
mid
was 80.
'80s. It
Yep.
was mid
It was
'80s.
84. Yep. Yep. It was
it
84.
Yeah,
was definitely
So
okay.
because I remember
yeah,
that
yeah,
period
yeah.
on. I remember researching that period on television where like it was this major boom of making younger version of like having babies as the stars because of Muppet Babies.
Yep.
Like Looney Tunes,
Yeah,
Euthanizing.
euthanizing
babies, and
Euthanizing the major characters.
Looney Tunes babies, Rugrats, technically Tom and Jerry kids, and all that
well,
stuff.
Rugrats isn't really the baby versions of stuff, so
Well,
it's
it's like
just
No,
it's a
no,
baby. It's like
no.
a show like starring
Well,
babies.
well, actually, it'd be the reverse of that because they did do Rugrats all grown up, so
yeah,
they kind of made an
Yeah, but that
older
didn't work
version.
out well, did it?
and that was well after the
No.
fad of baby things.
Yeah, so they did a reversal on it. But I grew up with the special. I mean, god damn, this is amazing. I mean, it's the ultimate like crossover of the ages. You can't top it. You can't. It's four major things. You got Fraggle Rock, Simpsons. Uh, wow,
That
wow,
that would
man.
be the only
That was
We're
crossover.
bad.
so
That would be bad of me if I say the correct word.
Fraggle Rock and The Simpsons. Wouldn't that be a hell of a crossover
For Christmas.
for Christmas
Oh my
even?
god, for Christmas. Fuck me. Sesame Street and Muppet Babies and the Muppets. Okay, yes, but man, I used to watch it all the time as a kid. I was just Swedish Chef is my favorite Muppet. My God, he kills it, especially with that Big Bird scene.
It's also kind of funny because the special happened in that time when the Elmo puppet had been made, but he hadn't been given a voice yet, which meant he hadn't become uber popular yet. Because it was like the
Oh, like he was
90s.
an
So
extra, like he was an
he
extra
was there,
monster.
but he was like in the background, not doing anything. Just so like, hey Elmo, good to know that you exist and you're not even a part of anything.
Yeah.
He was a reindeer, I think, in their little skit that they did.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. Yeah, I guess it would be kind of weird considering the popularity of Elmo nowadays. Like he would like if it would have made a little bit later, like maybe a few years later, like Elmo would have played like a major part. Like it would have been
Which would
like
have been
Elmo
interesting
would.
because okay, Elmo's popularity happened after Sesame Street and the Muppet Show started to divulge more. So we never really saw Elmo interact with any Muppet Show Muppets.
Yeah, like I can imagine if Elmo had that popularity back then, like I'm sure they would make a major plot with Robin and Elmo together. Like I'm
Robin,
sure.
they
Yeah.
would give Elmo a better character to work off of than fucking Robin. Robin.
Oh,
That's insulting.
oh
That's insulting
God,
to
you would
anybody. Robin.
Morgan would
Oh
Morgan would
boy.
kill you if you ever said
Oh
that.
my God.
What, does Morgan have a thing for Robin? Fucking Robin? He's not even funny. All he does is just look at.
Keep in mind, he was also Tiny Tim in Muppets Christmas Carol, so he
Yes,
has a
he was
major
Tiny
heart for
Tim.
him.
He was Tiny Tim, and he made me cry like any Tiny Tim would. But he's not even. Name one thing that Robin ever did that was remotely funny, or even name one time he even told a joke. He
I
doesn't. He
could think
just
of a few
he
episodes.
just
I could
looks
think of a few
cute,
Muppet
has a
Show
heart of
episodes.
gold.
I could think
I
of a few.
Boy, when
I could think of a few Muppet Show episodes where like he had pretty good parts.
specifically tell me a joke that he told, like not even a funny joke, just a joke, something that was
Well,
intended to be
I don't
comedic.
really well I don't really
oh
remember
boy.
much of jokes. I don't really I remember more scenarios. Like I remember there was this really good musical number with him and Sweetums.
Okay, but the Sweetums was the funny one. Like
Well, no, they
Kermit,
both worked well. They both work well together.
Robin is not even a straight man. He's just lovey-dovey. I'm innocent. I'm an innocent little angel, and I'm curious about the world, Uncle Kermit.
I
He's
like to
not even.
see the world. I want to see the magic of Christmas, Uncle Kermit.
Yeah, he's fucking
Oh
not even
man.
funny. He's not even funny. Fuck Robin.
Well,
Okay,
I don't
there
like.
it
I don't
is.
know how he like. I don't know how he maybe like he was underdeveloped in the Muppets Family Christmas, but like he still had. I remember like in the Muppet Show, like he still had a pretty prominent role.
prominently boring.
Do you even watch the Muppet? Like, have you seen the Muppet Show? Just wondering.
I beg your pardon. I watched the fucking Muppet Show, and how dare you? The Muppet Show, I watched it all the time as a kid. It was on
I'm not questioning. I'm not questioning you. I'm just asking.
It was on Channel 23 at 8 o'clock just before Happy Days. Okay? There you
Holy
go.
crap! You must have watched. Oh my god! I think you watched. I think you watched it like on the same channel as I did. Because I remember it was always after Happy Days.
No, it was before Happy Days.
No,
The Muppet Show
before
and then
Happy Days.
Happy Days.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
didn't really
Okay,
watch
yeah.
much. I didn't watch much Happy Days, but I did watch the opening. Sunday, Monday, Happy Days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Happy Days.
Timeless classic, childhood thing, loved to death, best crossover ever, going
Oh.
on. Speaking of Disney, it's sort of Disney. Yeah, it is
Is it?
Disney. Fuck yeah, it's Disney. It is Disney.
What is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. A little Tim Burton film called The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Wait,
Over
what?
you, Matt. The
Oh,
Night
me?
Before Christmas.
Oh, we talk.
It's a Tim Burton
Oh,
movie.
it's my turn. My turn. Oh my god. Oh, I thought we were going to you. Okay, never mind. Okay, The
No,
Nightmare
no.
Before Christmas. Well, at this point, I think we all know about The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's pretty much now one of Disney's biggest, well, not franchises, but one of their biggest movies. Like, we all know the characters, we all know the songs and stuff like that. But in terms of what it is, it's one of these very rare animated features where it's practically 100% original. The story is original, the characters are original, even the style. Like the Tim Burton style hasn't really fully blossomed like until The Night Before Christmas. Like, sure, there was Beetlejuice and Edward Sis. Yes, what?
Technically, it was based on a short that he did beforehand.
But he still made it. It was still his thing.
It was his thing, but I'm just saying it wasn't totally original because it was based on a short.
But you know what I mean. It's still like he still made the thing.
It's not the same as being original. Just because he
You know
made the
what
same
I you
thing
know
as the
what I
source
mean.
material.
You know what I mean. You know what
I
I
know
mean.
what you mean, and you're inaccurate.
Anyways, the thing with the Nightmare Before Christmas, it definitely brings us the like it offers something that we have never seen before, and it's like this is a mixture of a Halloween movie and a Christmas movie because we got all the celebrations of Halloween, like with the weird like the weird spooky scary stuff, along with Tim Burton's dark art style, and then you got the more then you got the Christmas where like you add in the whimsy and what the
Sorry,
fridge.
sorry for the interruption. We have
James is
uh, James
here.
Sul- James Sullivan has
Oh
appeared.
my god, James. Okay, so that's why you wrote that. Okay.
You weren't leaving about the messages, right?
What?
It's,
Okay, that's why.
You got a problem with something that? Huh?
Well, no. It's
it was
just
just
out of the
random. He thought
blue.
it was
Like, I
just.
didn't know James was here.
Ah!
Yay!
Ah! James, what
Two,
up?
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by a very special Kim Jong-un Christmas.
Okay.
I love you, Kim
I think.
Jong-un. Oh my god. Hey, James, you're just in time for me talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I was just introducing it, so like Nightmare Before Christmas, definitely like great Halloween, like great mixture of Halloween and Christmas. You got the dark art style of Tim Burton, and pretty much like all the characters, and then you got the whimsy and the stop motion animation like that you would associate with Christmas, and it combines itself like amazingly really well, and like like trying to think about it, like what else can you say about the night before Christmas? Like we all know the songs. They definitely like definitely really like what defines Danny Elfman. Like the
Mm-hmm.
animation is just pure gorgeous. Like
Oh,
this is pretty much the one where Tim Burton's art style like 100% fully bloomed. Like yes, we have like Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands and stuff like that, but like this is like purely his art style. And characters like this is pretty much like where we love every single characters, even the extras in the backgrounds. Like it's very rare
oh
that
yeah.
like it's very rare that we would even remember like the strange designs of like just characters that would barely appear like a minute in the film. And the story, well, I mean, like nowhere else where we would hear about like the combination of like Halloween and Christmas. So definitely a true animated classic and a true Halloween and Christmas classic.
Yeah, I that's the biggest thing there, and I think we might have had this debate on the show before whether or not it's considered a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie.
It's both.
I'm I'm uh I'm of the camp that whatever works, you know.
I'm not gonna lie, I usually watch
I am
most
the
of
one
Halloween.
hiding under your stairs.
I'm not gonna lie, I relate it more closely with Halloween than Christmas. I watch it closer to the Halloween holiday, but I can definitely see why people would watch it in relation to Christmas too. It's just, the holidays are so close together. Watching it twice is a little much for me, especially when there's so many Christmas movies to be going through before December 25th.
Holiday clusterfuck, holiday clusterfuck.
Yeah, there you go. Thank God there's no
Somehow,
Thanksgiving movies, right?
technically,
Thank God.
Yeah,
well, technically, there is free birds,
There's this.
Oh.
I
where
watched
we
that movie.
celebrate, where we all huddle together and celebrate with our Thanksgiving pizzas,
Yes.
with our favorite
Thanksgiving.
Owen Wilson turkeys.
Thanksgiving has one Charlie Brown special, and that's it. It's easy peasy.
And free birds.
Well,
And
they also have they also have the Thanksgiving that almost wasn't. You know, the one with Hanna-Barbera and the talking squirrel.
And there's also I think
no,
Garfield has a Thanksgiving special.
Yeah, there's that. But I get the point though. There's not really a whole movie based around it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's
There's
very
plenty.
few good specials.
There's plenty of Christmas movies. There's technically a whole genre dedicated to scary shit, but not a lot of Thanksgiving. And
Mm,
that's a
No,
good.
but
except
with me,
Thanksgiving.
but back onto the Nightmare Before Christmas, with me, it's pretty much both. I remember I saw it like to get into the Halloween spirit, and I remembered like to get into the Christmas spirit, and they both work very well. Like I said, for Halloween, you got like you got the characters, you got the atmosphere, and you got Tim Burton's dark and twisted art style, and like it really works for Halloween. And when you watch it for Christmas, like you really get into the Christmas spirit. Like you're pretty much you're watching it in the shoes of Jack Skellington, where like you really want to get like you discover Christmas all over again, and you really want to get into it and
Hmm.
like you see all the other characters like they're trying to do their version of Christmas.
Has anybody listened to the Nightmare Revisited album?
I've
It's
like
the best thing ever, isn't it? That's where Marilyn
I will say
Manson's
a
"This
lot
Is
of them are
Halloween"
great.
came from.
A lot of them are great. Like the my only problem is the last one, like the revisited version of Final Reprise. It started out amazingly, and then like I don't know what they did with the rest of the songs. Like, what is this? It's like the rest of the song is like that, and it's like it really kills it compared to like how it starts out. It's like Jack's okay, and he's back. Okay, he's
Well,
all
to be
right.
fair,
Let's shout, make a fuss, scream it out. You
well,
know what
to
I
be
mean?
fair, the tone does get very different when you go from Celebration in the Town to Jack and Sally on the swirly thing.
No, but it's like it's celebration, like 1 minute of celebration, and then like 2 3 minutes of like that slow thing. That's my only problem. The rest of the song, it's possibly I think Nightmare Revisited. I think it's the best remixed like Disney remix CD ever
Definitely. Infinitely better than friggin'
than any of the.
Disney jams, Radio Disney
Yeah, then like
jams.
those. The only exception would
Disney
probably be
Radio.
Wayne Brady's rendition of the Enchanted Tiki Room. That I thought it was hilarious.
well, that's Wayne Brady. Yeah,
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
birds say the word and the flowers room in the tiki room.
you know, I'll give the Jonas Brothers this. It was pretty ballsy
No,
of them to go with the villain song to remix. Like
no,
usually it's the
that's
love
just
songs that
stupid.
they. No, but the Disney Channel people usually they just remix like the friggin' Part of Your Worlds and the love
I
songs. They
think
chose
the
a villain
Jonas
song.
Brothers.
I think that's pretty
No,
cool of them,
no,
even if it wasn't
this
very.
it still came out
Oh,
terrible, and I think they also
God.
did "Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life" for
It's not
me,
fair.
and that was stupid. Because I remember distinctively when I went to at Disney World, I went to see the Phantasmic Night Show, and before they would go on, they would play those Disney remixes. Me, my mom, and my dad, we all get out our iPods, put on better music. It's so bad. Like they won't even have the decency to play like any of the Nightmare Revisited ones because they're too
No.
good.
Ah,
Technical difficulties
Oops,
now.
Jada's gone.
oh. Bye bye, Jada.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned this movie, by the way, because I just got it from my mom on Blu-ray, and we were
Ooh.
watching it last night, and it was beautiful.
Oh
It's
yes. It,
I was noticing I have seen this movie before. Well, obviously, I was there in the theater when it came out, and surprisingly, I always remember watching it in classrooms growing up, and e- every time, here's the problem: every time a love song or something like that comes on, that's when the kids in the classes would always get pissed. Uh, that's the part. That's the
Sally
part
and
that
stuff.
everybody hated. Hmm.
I have no idea
But
what you're talking about.
I was
The
discussing my experiences with the film. I was just saying that I watched this movie in theaters when it came out, obviously, and when I later on when I'd have to watch it in a classroom setting, all the students would always be complaining whenever a love song came along. But I
Well,
look at those now, and
there weren't that many love songs in Nightmare Before Christmas.
yeah,
technically,
but
like I
they
would consider like two, like Sally's song and the end of the final reprise. That's it.
It's not
well
even a
for
whole
some
song.
for some of them though that kills the entire experience, and I think that's a shame on their part.
Yeah. No,
But
the moments I think it's great with Sal, like especially with Sally, like it definitely like you could definitely see how she cares about Jack and like she wants to get out and try to tell Jack about it, but like he's too enthusiastic about Christmas, too excited and enthusiastic about Christmas. Like she knows that there is something bad going on, and like she really is an interesting character. But
hmm
I will say there is one little flaw that I have a bit with The Nightmare Before Christmas. I feel like it's a little too short. Like because and it's kind of true when you think about it because the movie is only about 76 minutes long. I feel like even in the end, I feel like they concluded things a little too fast, like after they
hmm
released Santa and all that stuff. And like I felt like they probably like they should add in like at least 15 minutes of like explaining a few things. That and also like they never mention why Oogie Boogie is like so bad and stuff like that. They never did.
he's made out of bugs, I guess. But that
No,
I
but like
can see your point there. Uh, sorry, what?
no, but like when I did my top 10 other Disney villains, I put Oogie Boogie on the honorable mentions, like not officially on the top 10 for that reason. And like the comments that I got is that everybody like try to make up their own theories to why Oogie Boogie is technically the meanest guy around and like and that's the biggest problem. It's like that's the movie's job to do and it didn't do that. Like I understand you
Hmm.
want to try to defend The Nightmare Before Christmas, but like they didn't explain why they didn't really explain why Oogie Boogie is so bad.
Well, it's because
Yeah.
well, It's because while the other characters like scaring people, they don't scare people to the extent of bodily harm. Like, that's one of the lines in This Is Halloween, that's our job, but we're not mean. You know, they don't actually endanger people. Oogie Boogie does. Like, he doesn't give a shit, and that, like, freaks people out because they're like, whoa, you're taking this thing way too far, man.
But I
And
don't
all
know,
these
Also,
like
none of the
it's very
children were
vague.
endangered. None of the children were endangered by any of those toys. I don't think
Yeah.
No,
so.
it's just a snake.
Yeah,
There's nothing
that's
dangerous
true.
about a snake.
It's just a
It's a
giant
snake.
snake eating a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
That can't do anything to a human
No,
being,
but
right?
I'm saying like they should have added like they should have clarified that with Oogie Boogie. Like they should have given like a bit of a background,
Well,
like
he
to
eats
why.
people.
You know?
Eating
Well,
people,
no, like
that's not
they didn't
nothing.
really. That's the thing. They didn't clarify to why he's the meanest guy around.
Because he eats people. He tries to eat Sally.
They didn't
None of the other
clarify that
characters
it's
are
a
meant.
bad thing. You never know. Maybe the others do.
You
Here's
don't
another
show them
flaw.
eating people. You show him eating people. I think that's clarification
I mean,
enough.
like they even mentioned that some eat brains.
Who?
Like some of the other characters. Like I think the Cyclops mentioned that like he would eat brains.
Well, like maybe like that's like saying that we eat steak. That doesn't mean we like butcher cows ourselves and eat them raw. Like maybe he eats
Yeah, we
brains from
do.
people.
Yeah, of course we do.
He
That's my
eats
business.
brains. He gets brains from the market from people that died of natural causes. It's fine. It's cool. It's not the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Just
Keep making your own theories, of course.
Here's another thing. How about whether or not these characters are mortal? Whether or not they are killable. After rewatching the film myself, I noticed they establish early on in Jack's song that he says, "Since I am dead, I can take off my head."
Yeah.
That's one famous line. But later on, they uh, they think that he's been killed off uh, after being shot down by a cannon. Wait a minute, he can't kill him. He's already dead.
and he can take
Well,
off his head
but
in
I
the
mean,
sight
like,
Shakespeare.
he like, I mean, like maybe they meant like explode his fragments, you know?
And it's true because despite being shot, he does put himself back together. So I don't know why the citizens of Halloween Town don't just assume that he does that.
No,
Hmm.
but I mean, like, maybe like too many broken bones and stuff like that, you know? Like, I mean, he exploded. Like, no, but like they presumed. I remember like they said like Jack has been gone to dust.
Blown to
So they presume. So they
blown to
presume like
smithereens.
yeah, blown to smithereens and stuff like that. So like,
Even though they didn't actually see that, if they saw what we saw, presumably because we're all seeing the same thing,
mhm,
we see him in a full state as he's going down.
yeah,
So there's a little nitpicks here
yeah.
and
There's
there,
a
but
little
it's
bit of
still a
nit.
fun film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
of the complaints are pretty much nitpicks. Other than that, like The
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas nowadays is considered one of the greatest animated features of all time, and that really is saying a
Oh,
lot.
it's got like a huge following. Like you see merch like in Hot Topic. There's a lot of
Hmm.
like those kind of people digging the hell out of the film.
It's crazy how like it started out as a small little Tim Burton project for The Nightmare Before Christmas, like a fun little Disney
Oh,
project, and then it grew into this major phenomenon where Jack Skellington is one of the most popular Disney characters nowadays, like next to like Mickey and Tinkerbell and Stitch and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's like, whoa, man, just get the hell out of here. Cut it out. Like, wow.
did did anyone else also find that the climax, the fight between uh Oogie and Jack was a little bit quick?
That's what I was saying. Like the ending, they pretty like it felt like they rushed it. Like for me, it felt the most with Santa. Like when like he was pissed off with Jack, and then somebody was like, he's all happy with Jack. You know, it was like he was freed, and it was like, what the hell's your problem? You think you can fix this? Of course I can. I'm Santa. And then like he fixed everything.
Well,
I don't exactly blame
well,
him for his
he's
reaction. I'm
Santa.
pretty pissed at Jack too.
Yeah, but it's no, but like then suddenly he had this major mood swing when he gave snow to Halloween Town.
Well,
Hmm.
he's Santa. He's a generous soul.
Yeah,
Not
but
Yes,
necessarily.
like, if
even
he had a generous soul, he wouldn't have been have been a dick.
even
No,
to
he
the
wasn't a
even
dick.
to
He
the
was reasonably angry. You can be a
yes.
generous soul and still get pissed when someone kidnaps you and tries to cook you in a stew. Okay?
Yeah, but does
Mhm.
he immediately like be forgiving right afterwards?
He's not necessarily forgiving Jack just because he gives snow to Halloween Town. Maybe he just recognizes that the citizens want to
Yeah,
have a good
but
time.
no, but like he even cheerily went going Happy Halloween,
For the citizens
Merry
welcome him.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I don't know. I feel like this Santa had bipolar disorder.
Yeah, and not the he's not the strongest representation of a Santa Claus I've ever
Yeah,
seen in film. But
yeah.
in the book adaptation that I used to read as a kid, I do remember there was an epilogue uh, saying that Jack and Santa actually went on to be very good friends after that for many years.
Huh.
So
Well, yeah. Usually book adaptations usually expand it a little bit more than the film.
Well, I get. Well, yeah.
It
I don't
depends.
know.
Like,
Like,
they
that's
have
the
the
thing.
option.
I'm not 100% sure if I would consider it like technically an adaptation because like this is Tim Burton. Like this is still Tim Burton's idea and stuff. Like he made it like he grew upon his own thing. So like technically it's his original idea. So like
Oh
it
yeah,
counts.
oh, well, yeah. I was just referring to like
I know
uh,
he
as
like
a
he
book.
start
You know.
like because he wanted this to be a movie a long time even when he made the poem and stuff like that. Like he had sketchbooks while he worked at Disney. Like
Yeah.
storyboard sketches and stuff like that.
and the you might also find this interesting. The Blu-ray has an animatic of the original poem read by
Yes.
Christopher Lee,
Oh, yes. You know,
and
there's actually another.
all the
You know, there's
artwork
actually.
all the artwork that accommodates this reading in the animatic is based on Tim Burton's original sketches.
Ah,
Although
yeah.
I have reason to believe, though, that since some characters aren't even mentioned in the poem, such as Sally, then
Mhm.
maybe they stuck them in there just for show
Honestly, I
sake.
felt like it was probably more updated. Honestly,
Hmm.
probably more updated. But
See, that's
also,
what I mean.
like, another thing I want to mention is that do you know that there's actually another reading of the poem, but by Patrick Stewart?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, like if you go online, you'll find that there's actually a Patrick Stewart version of the poem because he originally did the intro, the opening monologue in the Nightmare Before Christmas. Like you can hear it in the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack that it was Patrick Stewart. So he also did the poem as well.
Oh, well, part of
Good
the
to
poem at
know.
least.
Well, like yeah, the opening, but still, like,
That's
but like
right. Night
he did part and full of
Nightmare got energized, I guess.
pretty much.
Oh, it's
Captain
yet
Jean-Luc
another
Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Enterprise. But nowadays, Jack is pretty much everywhere. Like he's sometimes in Disney rides, he's in video games, like he has his own games, he's in Kingdom Hearts all the time, and he's
Yep,
now in
I know.
Disney Infinity.
Yep.
He's also, yeah, he occupies the haunted mansion
And
on a yearly basis,
yep.
Mm-hmm.
along with his
Although
friends.
although I will admit, I don't know, like I haven't seen myself like any like update. Like I always thought it was like is it like I'm not 100% sure. Is it like a crossover between like the characters in the ride and like in the movie or is it like completely like a takeover?
It's a complete takeover from what I saw. They have it on they have a recording actually and a mini documentary of the rides updating on again on the Blu-ray. And from where I'm standing, it looks like they pretty much took over everything except for the lady in the in the
Crystal Ball.
in the crystal ball. That
Yeah,
is
Lolita,
updated.
yeah.
That character though was updated and
Mhm.
to accommodate and read off some of the new poetry that
Yeah.
they rewrote for the ride,
Well, yeah,
and
actually, I
she is
think
now played she's now played actually by the daughter
of
of the
Leo the
lady that played
Tombs.
before. Yes.
Actually, I think in my Blu-ray, yeah, there's where the fridge is it? Yeah, yeah. What's this? Jack's Haunted Mansion Holiday Tour. Yeah, like even
That's
on the
the one I'm
Blu-ray there.
talking about, the 20th
That's
anniversary
the
edition.
Oh, you got
boy.
this
Oh
one.
boy.
Not even the 25th
Yeah.
version.
There's a 25th.
Technically, yeah, but I think it's the exact same thing.
It's
I
not
think it's like
25 years old.
Yeah. What are you talking about? It's been 25 years.
It's only 20th.
I don't know, like I know there's a different version than what I have because oh no, 20th version. No, mine is just the collector's edition.
So there's a 20th edition
Because like
then. So yeah.
the 20th edition I remember is
And then
both the exact same thing.
I have the red one.
Yeah.
And then there's also a
So there you go.
26th edition, a 27th edition, and a 28th edition just to
Shut
fill out the years in between.
Thanks,
Uh,
James.
yeah, that's enough out of you, bacon strips.
All right.
Actually,
So,
this Christmas I got myself another bacon T-shirt, but it's exercise, exercise, exercise for bacon, 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 bacon.
speaking of Santa Claus, let's jump back a bit to 1985 to be exact. To talk about another Santa Claus in general, in a film called Santa Claus the Movie.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Shall I take it from here?
You shall.
Okay, so the story behind this, well, it looks like this is one of those movies that my folks, once upon a time, uh, recorded back in the day, back in those short days when we actually had television, and ended up watching we ended up watching it when we were kids one time. It was on the same tape as that we had Will Vinton's Claymation Christmas on, which is our annual family tradition. And one day we just decided to, keep watching the same tape. And we found other Christmas movies and other Christmas specials on there. And guess what was on there? Santa Claus the movie.
I was gonna guess Die Hard.
Nice. Bonus points for Jada.
Yeah, that would have been excellent as well. But San this is for a while this film for me became sort of the defining vision of what a Christmas film revolving around Santa Claus should be. Has anyone else ever seen this? Anyone else in the
No.
group? Okay.
No, honestly.
Okay, you guys are missing out. You guys are missing out. See, you guys all grew up with the Tim Allen Santa Claus, and I just watched that and said, meh. I had
No,
David
Stay
Huddleston.
tuned.
I
Stay
grew up with the
tuned.
1950s Santa Claus, the one where he's in a castle in the sky and a Satan, and he has Merlin and robot reindeer, and it's a small world, children.
I grew up with the actual
Oh,
Saint Nicholas in biblical times. He actually came to our village and gave us a wooden doll. It was a good time.
Actually, I'm just kidding.
Anyways,
I honestly haven't seen that version of Santa Claus. Like, the only way I knew about it was just through James Rolfe's review. Just to let the audience be clear. I want
I
to
was
see
gonna
that
say
show.
MST3K.
Although I will say, I want to check out that version by how crazy it is.
So yeah, continuing on with Santa Claus the movie, as far as roles, we have as far as famous names and whatnot that you might recognize, we have Dudley Moore, John Lithgow, and um, Mer- Burgess Meredith are all in this film. But the actor, none of them are playing Santa. Dudley Moore is playing
Oh.
Pat. Oh. Yeah, Dudley Moore is playing Patch, who's one of the lead elves in the toy factory. John Lithgow plays a greedy toy executive who shows up in the second act of the film, and Burgess Meredith plays the elder elf in one rather pivotal cameo early on in the film. But the actor that they got to play Santa Claus in this was none other than David Huddleston, who some people might know as the Big Lebowski.
Oh.
Not
Oh.
not the dude, the other guy.
Wait a minute. Is this that one movie that has that elf that constantly says the word elf to mean self? Like elf control, elf entitlement, elf. I
Yes.
have seen that movie. Oh my god, it's like it was like I saw it once on TV. Oh my god. I remember now. I remember everything. This has changed my life. Who did Burgess
It's
Meredith play?
Burgess Meredith was an elder elf who appears early on in the film.
The
See,
old guy with the beard. The beard
yes,
that people were carrying. That's the
yes,
penguin? That's so
yes,
weird.
that was Mickey. That was Mickey playing ringside, coming up to Santa Claus and saying, "You're going to eat lightning and you're going to crap thunder every year for the children."
It's a reference to Rocky.
Oh my god, did that actually happen?
The-
It's a reference to Rocky, you dummy.
No, I know, but it's like, oh my god, that happened.
I forgot
Yeah.
Rocky. I just went straight to the penguin. Because I have priorities.
hmm So yeah, the first what I discovered about this film over the years, other than the fact that it seems like a lot of people have forgotten it, and some people have accepted a lot of other Santas as their role models, like the one in Nightmare Before Christmas, who doesn't do jack.
No, he just complains.
Yes, exactly. Uh, this uh, this Santa Claus has a backstory and a lore behind him and everything. The producer, I believe, was Richard Donner, who has previously done Superman, and here he was trying to do a superhero story with Santa Claus.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So how do you do that? Well, the first half of the film is setting him up as Santa Claus, a guy who not everybody around the world knows, except for some kids in a village who he delivers toys to every year. Then one night he passes out, uh, taking his reindeer sleigh through a snowstorm. And when he wakes up, the elves are there to greet him and tell them that he's the one that they've been waiting for this whole time, the legendary Santa Claus who will deliver toys for
He's the
children.
one. He's
Mm,
the one.
they go for the Chosen One story arc, and
Yeah, I noticed that they did take a little bit of Santa Claus is coming to town, actually. A bit of like how he started out as like just trying to give out toys to little kids in this little village.
yeah, but in that one they never explained his mortality,
His what? Mentality?
his immortality.
Oh,
Are you
immortality.
sure? Because they explained a lot of little things, like why does he have a beard? Why is his suit red? Why does he do the stocking thing? You'd think they'd explain the living forever thing, too.
Which one? In
No,
Santa Claus Coming to Town or Santa Claus the
Santa,
movie?
Santa Claus coming to town.
Ah, right.
although they have had Christmas specials where they did do that, but this just it wasn't quite one of them.
You know who
Uh,
explains it? Tim Allen.
oh,
Get wrecked.
That'd be later.
so in any case, yeah, they have a very nice and simple way of explaining it. I actually heard Roger Ebert's take on the film. They said that maybe the case was Santa died in the snowstorm, and he and his wife were and his reindeer were reborn
Oh,
spiritually.
like
So
where they
that's why.
like they were like they were hallucinating him like while slowly dying.
No,
Wasn't that a joke of
What?
a nostalgia critic?
the
Probably.
more like he died in the snowstorm, but he was reborn,
Hmm.
like Jesus.
Ah.
So so but the film goes ahead and explains it very simply. The elves all show him his this workshop, this vault that's full of toys, and he says, "You know what? I'm not going to live long enough to deliver all of these." And the elves just say, "You two," he's pointing to his wife and him and says, "You two will live together forever, just like we will." And that's all. That was really all the explanation for some reason that I needed
Hmm.
watching this as a kid. I liked I liked a lot of the thing. I, Watching it again, I liked a lot of the little touches. Like for the music score was a very nice, frolicky score, and I thought it was very well played on so many levels. Um, the uh, mu- I'm also looking at the palette that the film has. You know, the overall look of the film. And if there's one thing that I don't like about the preceding Santa Claus films is that they're they're all so white. You know, a lot of Santa Christmas movies, they're just so white and so bland looking. This one has its lightness, but it also has a very dark palette to balance that out. And a lot of midtones, and I look at it and I say, no, that's kind of a nice change, actually. You know, I'm not going blind while watching this.
Oh, that's what you mean. I thought you meant the Santa Claus himself.
Yeah,
No,
like Caucasian. I'm trying to think, when was Santa ever not Caucasian in a movie?
no, no,
I don't
no.
think
The
that happened
overall,
yet.
I said the
Technically, will
overall,
be my next movie.
I said the
Yes.
overall color palette of the film. Like
Okay, yeah,
okay,
too
so
much white. Yeah.
they got snow scenes and everything like that because snow is at the North Pole. Well, even here in this movie in the North Pole, they show it most of the time at night, and it's kind of gorgeous that way. It really is. And now Mike's trying to piss me off by showing me his nice bright hat. Happy New Year.
Wow. Yep.
So, and when I look back on Dudley Moore as an actor, there's two movies I think of because I've never seen 10. I've never seen it, and I know I should because that's a classic. But I always think of him. I always think of Dudley Moore as Patch the Elf and the narrator Milo and Otis. I don't think of him in anything else.
Uh, yeah.
So yeah, if you
Understandable.
haven't seen this movie, I recommend it. It's very retro looking, and maybe some of the effects haven't perfectly survived the test of time, but uh, it's good. It's a good movie. I can forgive it for some things.
You know what? You guys check it out next year for Christmas because it's going to be the 30th anniversary of the Santa Claus
Oh
movie.
yeah, there you go.
So make that Make that
You
occasion.
hear that, distributors? Time for a Blu-ray. Wink, wink.
Nice. Yeah, 30th anniversary Blu-ray. Make it pop.
In the early 90s, though, they also had this movie with they had this movie up in video stores on stands and everything. So I think they were trying to acknowledge that this film had somewhat of a cult following and milk that for what it was worth.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, true, true, true.
True, true. Um, boys, let's just get that slate going because I'm gonna talk about my film
Okay.
before
Uh-oh.
before we go full circle again. Um, so my film came out in 1998. It's another Disney film.
Hmm.
Ooh.
It started Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I don't know who that is.
Wait.
That's 3 first names.
The kid, you may know Jonathan Taylor Thomas for his role on Home Improvement with Tim Allen.
Oh lord.
He also voiced young Simba in The Lion King.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So,
Ooh, excuse me.
Bless.
Sorry about that.
intense sneeze. I'm talking about, of course, I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Hmm.
This is a film that I seen as a kid. I don't know why I saw it as a kid. I saw it on TV once or twice, and it was just the randomest thing I ever seen in my life.
It's Jonathan Taylor Thomas trying to be Ferris Bueller.
Yes, yes. I was trying to think of another character like his attitude because he Jonathan Taylor Thomas plays, and it's very forgettable because I forgot what his first name was already. God damn it! I'll,
He plays
Jonathan
some
Taylor.
kid who wants to be Ferris Bueller in
I'll
college.
just I'll, I'll just call him JTT for
Hmm.
short. So JTT plays this character who's this like smug, Ferris Bueller like character who's like smart and he tries to be sly with people. He gets out of everything. Just so he's in college in California, and it's got to be Christmas break, and you know, and it's time to go home. His girlfriend, played by Jessica Biel, uh, he wants to go home for Christmas while he wants to go to a sunny beach out in Jamaica or
I'm sorry,
somewhere.
could you just
So
excuse me for 1 second?
He wants to
That
go to
was
sure.
California because, as
just for
everyone
one
will
minute.
tell you,
Very sorry.
it's always bright and sunny in California in the middle of winter.
No, no, no. He goes to college in
Oh,
California.
wait. Oh,
He wants to go like to Cabo or something for Christmas instead of going
New
home.
York State, I
He
think it
gets like
was.
his home is in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something happens at school. He's trying to. I guess he has connections with this geek who gives 3 or 4 bullies beepers to cheat on a test. Yes, it's made in the '90s, so there was beepers back in the day. And somehow one of the guys get caught, and oh no, JTT gets stuck in the desert with a Santa suit stuck on him,
Glued. Hat and everything.
glued, glued, beard, everything's glued. He's stuck in the middle of nowhere with a Santa suit on. So what is he gonna do? How's he gonna get home?
For
He's gonna go.
Christmas.
He's gonna go the. He's gonna go the National Lampoon way.
Road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And
Go on. Finish.
mind you, I kind of skipped over the part where there was an incentive by his father who called him, because his father and his family wants him to come home. So the incentive for him coming home is that if he comes home at 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve, he can have the the red Porsche that him and JTT were working on over the years. So he's like, "Ooh, I gotta get this Porsche." So that's the incentive to come home now, instead of going to vacation somewhere sunny.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you seemed so mad when
Yeah.
I
I.
left.
It was
I've.
just random. I'm sorry. It's okay.
Okay, as long
We
as I
did.
haven't
He
upset
didn't.
people.
He didn't
Fine.
mean it.
No, it was just like sudden. It was like, okay, sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
this film I just saw this recently myself on Netflix. It I think it must have been a very interesting time for the Disney company in the late 90s because a lot of their family films from the mid to late 90s looked like they were trying to adopt a style of humor that didn't quite know that the 80s were over. And by that I mean um, there's some
Mm.
things you
what?
you can't do like show butts in a family film. But still they were doing that in other movies like My Favorite Martian, showing us Jeff Daniels' butt and
Oh, okay. I see where you're
Yeah.
going with this. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
okay.
also in the first 10 minutes of First Kid where the titular first kid moons a TV camera.
Got. Yep. All right, I gotcha. Yeah,
So
a lot of. I guess mooning became a thing.
yeah, which by the way was cut out of the TV edit. So here comes I'll Be Home for Christmas, which has a lot of moments in there while JTT is in a Santa suit going from one group of people or one person to the next, trying to get home and ending up in every wacky situation that he can. And what do? They slip in little bits and pieces, no pun intended, of that type of humor everywhere they go. And Mike, I'm going to let you have this.
It depends on what particular scenes you're talking about, because, like I said, he goes into this hilarity antics to get home. Like, he's in the desert with a buzzard. He has to try to contact his girlfriend, who's with this other guy. Because this other guy's trying to steal a girlfriend from JTT. That's another subplot for another time. But the whole point is that he goes across country. He first gets picked up by this group of old ladies who's going to Las Vegas to see Tom Petty. No, Tom Jones. Fucking Tom Jones. Yeah.
Nice, Tom Jones. I like
Yeah,
Tom
Yeah.
this
So
was
Jones.
they're saying,
this was right after Tom Jones saved us from the Martians.
yes, from Mars Attack. Yes. So, you know, so he's in the car. What's a new pussycat? And all of a sudden this crazy stuff happens. Like, teeth falling out of the granny's mouth. Puking up. And she gets kicked out. So, well, what's next? What are we gonna do next? Do. So, one thing, many. I
I'll
remember
tell
half of
I'll
them.
tell you one say I
Yeah.
do remember. There was a guy who picks him up by the side of the road after
Oh,
accidentally hitting him.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, oh, that's right. Yep. Yeah. Okay, that's where it comes from because he's trying to hitchhike. That's right. JTT's hitchhiking, and this guy in a van who, he's actually driving and eating at the same time. He drops a freaking tomato, and all of a sudden he's like, can't see the road, and all of a sudden the van he's driving chases JTT, almost killing him. And he's this dopey guy. He's like, "Oh my God, Santa Claus! I almost killed you. Are you okay?"
He actually
Like,
thinks a guy who's not even 20 years old yet in a Santa suit is the real Santa Claus. That's how dumb this guy is.
yeah, he's so
How can you
stupid.
be that stupid? I mean, like, is the white beard not an indicator that he's old?
He, and mind you, he didn't have the white beard on because he ripped it off.
Mm.
So it was just him in the Santa suit and the Santa hat.
Really,
He
dude?
didn't have a beard. He didn't have a white beard on.
So, what does JTT do? He puts on he plays along with this and pretends basically like he's Santa Claus, and the guy buys it up until
A cop comes by to pull him over, and I got an idea. Put this elf hat on, and he puts his Santa suit thing all to get together. It's like, uh, hello, officer. We're just on our way to the children's hospital to deliver all these gifts in the back of the van. That's why we're driving so fast. And the cop, who is just like, okay, I'll let you off on a warning, and they're so close to getting away with it. All of a sudden, the cop comes back, and is like, hey, why don't we? I'm gonna take you exclusively to the hospital. It's not that far from here.
didn't they
And JT,
was it just me or did it feel like they took that scene from Pee-wee's Big Adventure? Where they try to
They
feel,
probably did.
where he's with the guy with the who stole a mattress tag, and they try to fool the police by dressing up.
They probably did. I don't know. The inspiration was there somewhere. So, of course, JTT and the guy go to the children's hospital, and mind you, the guy actually stole a lot of stuff. So all the stuff in the back of his van is all stolen. So all the stolen stuff he's giving it to kids at the children's hospital,
And it's power tools and
and appliances and all this hardware stuff. Um, so Santa Claus is being JT's being Santa Claus. Kids come by, stand on his lap, blah blah blah. There's a scene that's cut out of the film that's in the trailer of it where a kid sits on his lap and the kid pees on him. So there was a pee joke that was cut out of the film.
Oh, great. A pee joke.
yeah. Wait till you see what they kept in, though. We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that. All right, so it segues into the cop because the dumbass with the elf hat, he decides to go the other way, going back home instead of going east the way JTT wanted to go. So the cop wants to hook up with his wife because he did something stupid, and he's she's in Nebraska. And she's like, "All right, let's go to Nebraska. That's on the way to New York City." So so JTT has to come up with a clever way to get the cop and his wife back together again for Christmas. That's another thing he has to do.
You still got to get home
He
for that
goes, "Oh,
Porsche.
I mean, there's ways of getting home, and okay, let's go to Nebraska." So they end up, getting them back together. He gets a bus ticket. He's getting ready to go on the bus, but then he notices on the TV that his girlfriend and the guy named Eddie, or the Edman as he calls himself, is at this like German little town in Illinois, and they smooch under the mistletoe. He gets very pissed off. So on the bus ride there, he convinces the bus driver, "Hey, can we go to this little town in Illinois? It's on the way." So, "No, I don't want you. Step behind the line. Don't want to do it, man." So he comes up with this clever idea where he takes a cooler, takes a green crayon, and takes like a piece of meat, and he thinks that like, "Oh, I can." He just writes liver donation to this location, this girl. He's like, "What is this? Is this yours? Is this mine? No. Oh my gosh, it's a live liver! We gotta take it to this town!" And everybody on the bus just goes, like, "We gotta go to this town for this little girl. We gotta save her life." And the bus driver's like, "Okay, let's go." Ends up in the little town, German town, finds his girlfriend, you know, reaps his ass of Eddie. Girlfriend's like, "You know what? We're through. You're pathetic. I don't want to see your face again." Hops in the bus in place of him,
You're
leaves.
skipping over the one crucial moment here. The one crucial moment of this film that that I was trying to get at earlier. I hope you don't mind me interjecting.
That's fine.
Um, he doesn't beat the crap out of the other guy. He's Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He's too nice, even for a complete,
I was exaggerating.
yeah, even for a complete jackal of a character. What happens is he goes into their hotel room. Yes, they're sharing a hotel room together, the girlfriend and this other guy who wants to get with the girlfriend. And the guy walks out of the shower with a towel around his waist. And he's surprised to
Yeah, oh
see
yeah.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas there. So what does the kid from The Lion King do? He walks right up and he yanks the towel off of him.
Yeah,
What
okay, that's
the
right. Yeah,
hell?
yeah.
And it
And
gets better. It gets better.
It does.
They they have a they show they show underneath that he's quite naked. But there's a very cleverly placed glass of orange juice right in front of his junk.
Oh my.
oh, that's what you're referring to. I I just thought they were just covering for I thought it was kind of I didn't have any issue with that.
I took one look at this scene and I had to stop this movie and rewind it and watch it again. And mind you, that's not
And
easy to
again
do on
and again and
Netflix.
again.
It's not easy to do on Netflix, you know, because
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
because the timeline's all fucked up. He's like, yeah, like, there we go, just right.
and so after a while, I'm just thinking there's a little piece of music that starts coming to mind while I'm watching this. The Austin Powers theme starts playing in my
Oh.
head.
Oh, okay,
Oh
yeah, that was
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, I
movie.
get it. Oh
Yeah, right,
my
yeah,
god.
yeah.
And do you think uh, do you think the Disney Channel has would have shown this scene if they showed this movie on the network?
No.
Probably not.
No. Well, ABC Family does show it. It's part of the. I think at one point, I think it was part of the 25 Days of Christmas on ABC Family. So maybe they. I don't
Maybe they
know.
forgot about
I
it.
have.
Like they didn't revise.
I never seen
I
the
mean, because
TV
who's
edit of
gonna
it, so
remember much of "I'll Be Home for Christmas," especially with all the insanity that you just mentioned that goes on in that? Like, holy crap! It was hard to keep track of what you guys were talking about. Honestly, it's like there was at one point I was like, "Are we still talking about the same movie? What the fridge is going on?"
Yeah, see this uh, and to be honest, for on my end of things, I put up with this movie up to this very point. I said, okay, you know what? You're trying to do the National Lampoon thing here, Disney. I can accept that. I got a few chuckles out of it. One 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 nudity joke and my entire evening was ruined for this film.
Aw.
all right. So yeah, I totally forgot about that. I didn't even notice. I didn't mind that as a big thing. I just thought it was like, oh ho ho ho, JTT is clever. He pulled the towel away. Oh, I'm naked. Kind of thing. I was just like,
Why is this not PG-13? Why?
you know,
They they
I don't
they
know.
almost show the
I
pingish.
I mean, almost like not even close. I mean, ah, controversial, controversial.
And considering it's from Disney, out of all people.
It's a long, crazy fucking ride, and and it's not worth it. It's crazy. It's too crazy for me. It's just like, what does this have to do with Christmas? It sure it takes place during Christmas. He's gotta be home in time for Christmas. Oh boy, but you can suck my ass. Transition to JTT being in Home Improvement with Tim Allen. Tim
Oh,
Allen
is it?
was in a
I'm
film.
awake.
I'm sorry, I put you to sleep. I'm really bad with that. Tim Allen was in a film called The Santa Claus, and that leads to Jada talking about the sequel known as The Santa Claus
You
2.
see, I threw you for a loop there. Tim Allen was in this movie. We're not talking about that movie. We're talking about its sequel, because its sequel is the only one of the trilogy that I watched. See, I never saw the first. I saw the first movie once, like once when I was like an older kid. But it was the second movie that we owned and that I watched all the freaking time when I was a kid. And to be honest, maybe it was just my standards at like 8, which were not all that great. But it kind of held up as its own movie and not just a sequel, because it was about something very different. Like, you all know that the first movie was about Tim Allen. He accidentally murders Santa, and then he takes up the Santa Claus mantle forever because that's his responsibility, and, you know, it's wacky. And also, there's a kid in it who's a terrible actor. And yeah, that happens. The second movie is about Tim Allen. He's already Santa. That Santa thing is established. But it turns out that there's a clause in Santa Claus, because it's a play on words. See, the clause isn't. And this new Santa Claus, called the Mrs. Claus, basically states that in order for him to actually be Santa, he needs to get married, so that there can
I'm
be a
gonna get
Mrs. Claus.
married.
Lord only knows what happened to the original Mrs. Claus after the original Santa died. I always wondered that, but they never address it. Presumably, they just threw her to the snowbanks because she didn't have her husband anymore, so she was useless. But anyway, the horrific implications of this franchise aside, it's about him going back to his original home and trying to find a wife, and eventually he meets Principal Newman, who's the principal of the school that Charlie goes to, and Charlie is now a teenager and a much better actor, and like goofing off and spray painting things because he feels angry at the principal because the principal doesn't believe in Christmas. The kid doesn't have a whole lot of
Oh,
fun, but he acts like he
no,
does.
they go that route again,
Again.
again.
Don't you just love it when sequels lazily reuse their plots from the first movie?
Oh, and also, while Tim Allen is at home not being Santa because he's slowly losing his Santa powers as he goes longer and longer without having a wife. This one elf, who's a little inventor elf, he makes a fake Santa, a toy Santa, if you will, to
Oh yeah!
Santa at the North Pole while real Santa is away. And here's the kicker. Toy Santa, while he's being Santa, is not aware of the fact that he's a toy. He thinks he's the real Santa.
I'm
And
real Santa. Get to work
and
now.
yeah, so he's a toy version of a character who thinks he's the real version of that character, played by Tim Allen.
Joy, joy, joy.
Joy, joy, joy. I think that's a golden opportunity for some humor, Mr. Sullivan, if you were a little original about it. Got a Pixar movie?
Okay.
Yeah, James. Why don't you open up to the idea of having more Tim Allens in one movie? Because if there's one thing about the Santa Claus I need to complain about is that there's not enough Tim Allen.
Are you upset, Mr. Brunette?
What?
Mr. Brunet? Do you have a problem with Tim Allen?
No, no. I actually really like Tim Allen. I grew
I
up
did
with Home
too.
Improvement.
Well, I
I
have
don't
to
have a
say,
problem with Tim Allen. I just don't think he was as memorable of a Santa Claus than
as your
the Big
precious sweet
Lebowski.
Santa. Well, I didn't really watch your Big Lebowski Santa. I watched the Tim Allen version, and I thought that he was quite a good Santa in that he acted like a real human being when he was a real human being. Tim Allen, instead of making
But
Santa like this saintly, all-kind figure, he brought Santa to a human, modern level. So not like relatable to whoever lived in the biblical times in the old villages and were given little wooden toys in a bag. So there. I also really like the character of Charlie, who, like, a lot of people say was really annoying in the first movie, which he was. But, like, he wasn't as happy-go-lucky because he was a teenager, and he kind of had some legitimate issues with the fact that his dad is Santa Claus, and he can't tell anybody, and it's a little bit, it alienates you from your peers if your dad is Santa Claus, you gotta admit.
Hmm.
yeah, everybody else's dad doesn't have as cool of a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and he can't tell people about it, and also he still believes in Santa Claus, and it's kind of crazy. But the story is kind of silly. I'll admit it kind of has way too much going on. Like the toy Santa was a little much. I think they just did that because they wanted an exciting climax. You
Because they
know,
want more
the
Tim
thing
Allen in the movie.
you gotta have an
I want
exciting
more
climax.
Tim Allen going.
Although seriously, the Buzz Lightyear parallels are pretty hilarious.
Yeah, but that's in
In
Toy
case,
Story 2, though.
yes, but he's playing a toy who thinks he's the real thing. Huh?
Yeah, that's true. Did
Just
they
like
did
Buzz.
they do a Buzz Lightyear reference in there?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That
It
would
was
have made it
Disney.
clever.
Santa Claus 2 was Disney. So they could have made a Toy Story reference if they
They
wanted
got a
to.
golden opportunity, but
Oh well. But
Just didn't do it.
it's a nostalgia pleasure for me. It's not like a classic. It doesn't touch on the most original parts of Christmas, but it's a fun movie, and it gets the Santa lore down really cool. I love the world of the North Pole. I love all the elf characters and the stuff that they do. I love Tim Allen as Santa. I think he does a really good job of being a good idealist Santa while also being a really relatable Santa. I don't mind the relationship between him and Principal Newman, even if, she does automatically get married and become Mrs. Claus. It's a little weird, and she takes a little too well. But you know, has anybody here actually seen the Santa Claus 2?
No, I've seen
I
it.
saw part of it on television one time. That
I've
was about
seen
it.
it. I mean, it's just meant for like, if you like the Santa Claus, here's another stupid thing you can watch. Because like, that's the thing. It's a Santa Claus sequel, so like you're really not gonna expect a lot, and it's pretty much what you get.
I
It's
kind
pretty
of thought
much
it was.
it's a dumb little movie with dumb little things happening and like Tim Allen doing dumb things, but like it gets the spirit of Christmas across a bit. So like I wouldn't say it's terrible. Like
I love the one
it's not
bit.
hateable.
I
It's
love the one
innocent
bit where
enough.
he goes to like the teachers conventions, and there's like all these fuddy-duddy grown-up teachers who don't believe in Christmas magic hanging about, and he uses the last of his Christmas magic to bring out all these toys and give them to all the teachers, and the teachers were like, oh my god, I had this as a kid. I had Toss Across, I had Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I thought that was a really cute scene.
Yeah, like it's dumb, but it's like innocent dumb where you can't hate it, you know?
I mean, the Santa Claus 2, yes. Matt pretty much summed up what I was going to say about it. I mean, I've seen it once on the Disney Channel, back to back with Santa Claus 3. And, I mean,
Santa Claus 4 and all that, you know.
There's a Santa
if
Claus
they do a
4.
marathon,
No, but there might as well be.
no, there might as well be because it's a freaking franchise. I don't know how it became a franchise. I mean, the first one was fine. I had it on VHS as
Yeah,
a kid. I mean,
to be
it was a
fair.
classic for me.
Yeah.
I mean, but Santa Claus 2 comes around. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought they wrapped the first up movie just fine. Oh, now he's gonna get married now to Mrs. Claus? Like they have to find a Mrs.
Yeah.
Claus now? Like what? The...
It,
It's just.
To
it
be
took them
fair,
8 years to figure that out.
the Santa Claus is one of those films that shouldn't really have a sequel. Like there's one movie, just keep it as it is. Like we don't need to have more.
Because, all right, I wouldn't say Santa Claus 2 is like not pointless. It was good to have, of course. Where's Mrs. Claus? That makes sense. But the third one.
That was about Jack
that
Frost wanted
that
revenge because nobody appreciates him,
that
right?
that was ridiculous. Like that was 3 was pointless. Like that did not become. That was pointless.
It's always the third movie
Always the third
that
Yeah.
movie.
takes that one step too far.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, I think like yes, the Santa Claus 2 and the Santa Claus actually are good double features, but the third one,
Yeah. Damn it, Martin Short, you had to take things too far.
it
That's
just
his job.
because Santa Claus 3 takes it way too far. Like the first one didn't have these goofy characters.
Like the second
Like-
one had like kind of a bad guy in the form of Toy Santa, but only like at the end. Like to put in a full-on villain, it's not that kind of story.
Mm-mm. It's not one of those films at all. No, it had nothing to do with villains
Like
at
it had
all.
all the problems with the. Well, okay, I haven't seen Santa Claus 3, but the premise seems to have all the problems that the second movie's premise had, only like worse.
Exactly. So that's where I stand when it comes out. I like the original, and the second one's okay. Third one goes way too far.
Yeah, the
James.
third one we really didn't need.
Mr.
Mm,
Sullivan, any thoughts?
it's you watch it on TV if it's on, I guess.
Yeah, it's like one of those TV movies. It's like this is not supposed. This shouldn't be like a major feature thing. Like this should have been like a little TV thing. Like if there was like a
Yeah.
Santa Claus 2, if they were going to make like more Santa Claus movies, just keep it as a little TV thing. Don't make a big fuss about it. Don't release it in theaters.
I understand what you're saying, and like it's mostly nostalgia goggles with me. Like I haven't actually seen the movie in a while, but I remember liking it a lot as a kid, and so it it has a special place for me because of that.
Okay.
There we go.
Derp, derp.
Rightio. Dumb. Let's talk about a dumb character. No, he's not really dumb, but he's really childish more than anything.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 2004.
2003, I think, actually.
2005.
Three.
3. fuck, I'm way past my years now. Fuck. 2003. Yep, it was the year before. That's right. 2003. Because actually, this year they premiered a Buddy Christmas special.
Yep,
This year.
I'll
Yes.
talk about
Yes.
that briefly a bit as well.
Okay. Okay. So if you haven't guessed it, right, it's the movie Elf with Will Ferrell.
Mmm.
Yes. And may I say, Elf, alongside Muppets Christmas Carol, Elf is one of my favorite holiday movies. It's a lot of fun to watch, and it really does capture the great Christmas spirit. So, what Elf essentially is that apparently there's this one elf. He's actually a human, which is played by Will Ferrell, and it's really noticeable considering that he's literally twice the size of all the elves in there. And so what he wants to do is that he wants to go to New York and meet his actual dad. And what I find the real charm of Elf is that not only it truly captures the spirit of Christmas, but also it kind of has that charm and likability as Ron Howard's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, where most of the reasons why this movie is so well known today is because of the main character, Buddy the Elf, played by Will Ferrell. Like, because how he was raised in the North Pole by elves, he is so childlike and has all these really innocent thoughts, like of toys and sugar plums and all that kind of stuff. Like like he really plays it well as this like playful man child. And honestly, like Will Ferrell is one of those people that's pretty much perfect to be like one of those grown man childs and stuff like that. And not to mention that a lot of the other actors are actually really good as well. James Caan is really fantastic as Walter, as the bitter father that doesn't really want to do anything, doesn't want to have anything with him. Zoe Deschanel is actually pretty good as Jovi, and for me personally, Ed Asner is one of my favorite Santas. Like he really like what I don't know what it is about him, but like when you see him, he really does feel like Santa. And like in many of the situations, it's funny how Buddy like notices the world, how it's completely different from the North Pole, because they pretty much depict it as like this Rankin Bass wonderland, even with the special effects and stuff, like with the stop motion characters and stuff like that. And
That's one
like
thing
even,
I really. Sorry, what?
go on. No, you go on.
That was one thing. I saw this movie once in the theaters, and I remember that's one thing that really stands out was how here's a movie that's slipping into it's slowly slipping into the territory of being a Christmas classic by making fun of Christmas classics.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he's interacting with the stop motion characters, he's like, "Goodbye, stop motion characters," or something like that, or was he? And he's sort of being tongue in cheek with the humor there, and I really enjoyed. I liked that touch. I really did.
Mm-hmm. It really is. Like it really did capture the true Christmas spirit, and even like. And like I was saying, like how he interacts with the real world, and it's like how he meets like we all remember how he would meet like a fake Santa, or like how he tries to become an actual human, like working at his dad's place. Like we get offered all these like really hilarious moments, but we also get a lot of heartwarming moments, like when he bonds with like his half brother, and like when he has those romantic moments with Jovi as well. And yeah, like it really, like I truly love Elf. It's definitely a new one of the newer holiday classics, and I really recommend it. But before I go on, I also want to briefly mention about um, the new Christmas special that happened, which was Elf Buddy's Musical Adventure. And I gotta say, I honestly really was disappointed at it because, like, all the elements were great. The new actors that they got, like Mark Hamill and Jim Parson, they were great in their roles. The stop motion, I understand, like they're trying to emulate the Wrecking Bass. The songs, they were pretty decent, but the biggest problem is that this is pretty much a completely rushed version of Elf. Like they tried to retell the story of Elf in like 45 minutes,
Really?
and
They didn't?
even less if you take out like the musical numbers, and it really felt so rushed. Like in a span of 5 minutes, if you take out one musical, Buddy goes into New York, he meets Walter Hobbs, he gets kicked out of the Empire State Building, he meets Jovi, and he fights with fake Santa, all in a span of 5 minutes. It's like, and it really feels ridiculously rushed, and you can feel it. Like if it was its own thing, it would have worked completely. It would have been fantastic. But the fact that they had to do, like, they wanted to remake Elf in a way that feels so rushed, it completely ruins it. Like, I can't even recommend it to anyone. Like, what's the point of watching this when you have Elf when it's much better constructed and way better, and, like,
I
way
didn't
better
think
executed?
the musical adventure was a remake. I thought it was a sequel to Elf. Like he was having another
Nope.
adventure post.
Completely remade. It's a
Why the
complete
fuck would you
remake.
That's
even do that?
wow.
What's the
That's
point?
Yeah,
And-
it's based on the film and the musical.
Yeah, and this is when I learn the true importance of story structure, because when you rush everything, it'll completely fall flat, no matter how good your story is.
Did they at least bring back Peter Dinklage, or at least his character?
Peter I'm not 100% sure if I remember, because I do recall that they did take out a lot of characters, like they did
His
take out
scene
the
was
boss,
the best
which
part of the movie.
by the way, that is a black Santa. That is an official black movie Santa, technically, because he
call
had
me an
to
elf
repl-
one time, buddy.
Yeah, and they also, one of the things I really didn't like, they actually took out Papa Elf. They actually did. If you recall, he was played by Bob Newhart. And like I said, this would have been fantastic if it were its own thing, like a sequel. But because they wanted to retell the story of Elf, it's pretty bad.
You know what it is? Probably
What?
maybe their choice to to do this was hinging on the fact that, like I said, Elf is slipping into into classic territory. So they were probably thinking, how can we take this thing and make it stayable yet marketable at the same time. Something that can, we can do this every 2 Christmases or something. If this is a success, we'll have another special come out 2 years from now that's actually a sequel to the story of Elf.
Well, that's funny because everybody else gave it positive reviews for it. Like you're like the first one that ever like said, "Hey, this ain't a good thing." Everyone else just seemed to loved it.
I don't know. Like,
We need to look for this character that sells toys or stamps on Facebook or something.
I don't know what it is. Like, maybe it's because I love Elf so much. Like, I love the original movie, and the fact that it's just a complete remake. Like, they decided to make this rushed remake. It's like there's no point. There's no point of watching it because, like, I know we have better options.
We're just wondering about that.
No, but seriously, the scene with Peter Dinklage was the best part of the movie. Call me Elf one more time.
One more time. Call
He's
me
an angry elf.
I think that's actually I only realized it later, but that's my first introduction to Peter Dinklage, actually. It's crazy how he...
first introduction. It was well before Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it was before Game of Thrones and everything.
Yep.
And that's why Peter Dinklage is, I think, such an admirable actor. I know I haven't seen Game of Thrones, although one of these days I might.
There is not a role on this world of Hollywood that I would not cast him in, with good conscience and confidence.
He's an amazing actor. Yeah, great actor.
Oh yeah.
what I'm gonna, what I was saying is, I always find him admirable because he's one of those first cases where he's a dwarf actor you don't think of as a dwarf actor
Yeah,
because
he
he,
pushed.
the roles that he takes on, like in that movie, for example, he's not a very typical uh, dwarf character.
Yeah, I mean, there is a joke made about his size, obviously, but he takes it in like a direction where he's like really offended by it, and yes, it's funny, but all the same, he's a pretty badass character too. Like everybody's
No,
all scared of him,
like
like,
yeah,
oh,
he's
hello,
pretty much
Mr.
this
Peter
top
Dinklage, please don't be
executive
mad at me.
children's book writer. Like
He
like
pushes some serious
yeah,
boundaries. He does.
he really nails it as this major hotshot as crap. What was it? What was his role again? Hold on,
He
sorry.
was like a book
Miles
writer.
Finch, yes,
Miles.
the big hotshot Miles Finch.
Yeah,
The
there
Miles
and
Finch.
like the new X-Men movie and like he's not the most famous dwarf actor out there. That's probably still Warwick Davis. And
Maybe.
Warwick Davis is good, but Warwick Davis, he mostly gets roles that depend on his size, like he gets roles as like goblins and dwarves and leprechauns and that's fine, more power to him. But Peter Dinklage, he gets roles that you would give to anybody. Like the role Days of Future Past.
Plus the fact I would like to mention that he has this great booming like even though he has that small size, he has that great booming voice.
He's got a great.
He's actually one of the good things about Ice Age Continental Drift when he was that monkey pirate captain. The movie still sucked, but like he still gave out a pretty decent performance.
Yeah. Yeah, see, there again, you see a monkey pirate captain from that role, but you wouldn't think, hey, that's a dwarf actor.
Yeah,
no,
like
exactly.
And he's surprisingly a good singer as well.
Oh, really? He sings?
Yeah, he sings in the movie. He's got a pretty good voice on him.
Oh, I forgot he sang in the movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nobody really wants to remember much on Ice Age Continental Drift, but we all want to remember Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Where's Jada?
Oh, lots of more technical difficulties.
Oh my god. I just noticed I just stepped onto his IMDb page. I just found apparently in an upcoming movie he is going to play another big character. He's going to play the Mighty Eagle in the Angry Birds movie. That's going to be interesting.
Oh.
Well, that'll be a vocal role, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're planning on making a live-action Angry Birds, which I don't recommend you do, Hollywood.
It's got to be animated. It's for sure animated.
It's animated. It's gonna be a voice role. But the Mighty Eagle, the Mighty Eagle's like big and huge, and because he's got that booming voice, and we'll probably make a whole episode for Peter Dinklage because he's actually a great actor. He's worth talking about.
Peter Dinklage is awesome. He's hilarious in Elf.
Exactly, and like I kind of noticed the same thing with Elf here with its popularity. It's massive. It's I see everybody talking about Elf every Christmas. It's like it has a cult following as well, along with The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just like I hear it all the time, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's a good movie. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, Jon Favreau directed it. It was the second directorial film. Later on does Iron Man 2. I mean, he's a good director. He knows his stuff most of the time.
My neighbors, my neighbors have a tradition of watching Elf every year, and we used to have another set of neighbors that lived around here. The dad in the family he didn't look like Will Ferrell, but he always had that sort of holly jolly attitude. Even when it wasn't Christmas time, he was always going around like he's a really happy guy. Hey, nice to see you and everything.
Like he would sleep on window shot of store windows, going, Dad.
And so when this one Christmas some 10 years ago. My goodness, it's been 10 years since Elf. He's going around. He's going around Costco, and he's wearing a Santa hat. It's Christmas time, and there's a kid passing by in a stroller who just sees him, looks up and sees his attitude, and he's like, "Mom, that's the guy from the movie."
Wow.
Wow.
Oh man.
But you gotta give it to Elf. Like it truly is becoming a new Christmas classic.
Yeah.
And,
it
like,
is.
would you consider it this is going to be a controversial question, but would you consider it Will Ferrell's most memorable role?
It's
I
actually one of them.
probably. I mean, there's
Yeah.
Anchorman, but Anchorman doesn't have the immortality of Christmas.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
With
then
every
yeah,
other- You know what every other Will Ferrell movie is? Formulaic.
Oh yeah. We'll
It's a Will Ferrell formula.
Yeah.
He always
well.
plays this type of character. Oh, if he's
Mhm.
stepping outside of his boundaries.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like he's not like he's more childish than he's less adult than childish. A good contrast is pretty much how he was in Step Brothers and how he was in Elf, because like
Right.
Step Brothers is meant more for adults and like Elf is meant more for families. Like
Mm-hmm.
like you wouldn't expect Buddy the Elf to go teabag like take his nutsack out and like place it on his
Right.
brother's drum kit.
We're going streaking with Santa.
Although we could imagine like Buddy the Elf running around naked going, Santa! Oh my god!
Oh god. Oh my god. So
Well, wait a minute, technically, he did get naked. There was that one scene he had to put down his pants, so you don't remember? It was Christmas morning and like he was making breakfast and like he was talking with his dad and like he was pretty much telling him to take off like the elf attire and get real clothes, so like he just pretty much put down his tights and like it was a gag thing.
Well, that kind of works. That's kind of kid friendly. Like, haha, he took off his pants.
Yeah, and like, and
kinda
also like
that.
his stepmom came in and was shocked to find it.
Yeah, they didn't have to obscure his penis with a glass of orange juice or anything.
okay, yeah, alright. Sure. But there's a lot of more obscure and random moments in another film I'm going to talk about. From 2011, it's the third movie of the acclaimed
Oh,
trilogy known as Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas.
I'll be honest. You really disappointed me when you said 2011. It was like he's gonna talk about Arthur Christmas. Oh no, wait, this is Harold and Kumar.
Arthur Christmas ain't part of a trilogy, boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it was
Yeah,
part of a
well,
trilogy,
he
it
disappointed
would've
me
been-
when he said trilogy.
I couldn't
Still,
think of any
Arthur
Christmas
Christmas
trilogy.
I was gonna say Arthur Christmas has been talked about by other people on the
I
internet.
was just like, what's a Christmas trilogy? Like, there's the Home Alone trilogy, but we don't like to pretend there's a third one.
No.
No,
I
we
just
don't
would
even
like
like
to
to
talk
pretend like there's a fifth one either.
We would like to talk about Arthur Christmas, but Doug Walker pretty much covered it.
Mm-hmm.
And he covered Home Alone 3, thank God.
Did he?
Yeah,
Maybe.
like years ago.
Yeah.
Wow, I guess you're. But anyways, this is a film that I actually have the two other films on DVD, and I should have gotten the third one on DVD, but I have not yet. I don't know why. But basically, this film takes place about a few years after the second one. The second one's like really bad. And if you want me to hear me talk about the first one, you could actually check out what was the episode we did? It was Stoner Films back a while ago. So what happens is, I'll try to summarize it as fast as I can here without being draggy. Alright, so basically, Harold is this big executive now. He he's married to his wife. He wants to get a kid, but his wife's family comes over, and his the father who plays the wife's father is played by Danny Trejo in the film.
Good.
So Danny Trejo's in this film, and he's oh man, he's wearing the ugly Christmas sweater, and he's all festive, and he walks right into the house, and he's like, "Hey, what's that in the corner?" And Harold's like, "That's our Christmas tree. It's the white faux Christmas tree that people buy." And so he's like, "That's not a Christmas tree. That's you want to celebrate a faux Christmas or a real Christmas? You got to get a real tree." So Danny Trejo has his backstory where he grows Christmas trees, and his mother was killed by 2 Koreans. So it made him. So Harold's all awkward with the situation. It's like, my my stepfather doesn't, father-in-law. That's right, father-in-law doesn't like me. What am I gonna do? Blah blah blah. So Danny Trejo brings in a tree that he brought with. It's 8 years old. It's a very beautiful tree. So we can't. So then Kumar on the other side of the spectrum, he's still living in the same old apartment. He's growing a beard. He's still a lazy guy. He's still smoking weed. His girlfriend Vanessa, they kind of separated. Haven't been talking to each other for a while. So he gets a package that's sent to the apartment with Harold's name on it. It's basically he's like, okay, we gotta take this package to Harold, and they meet up again. They get together again for a little bit. They see what the gift was, and it's a huge joint. A huge joint. And Kumar's like, shit, I'm gonna smoke that right away. And so Harold's like, no, stop smoking it. Now, this is the weirdest thing. I don't know. It was like, he throws it out the window, and you see a shot, and of course, this whole film's in 3D. It's a 3D movie, so everything's at your face, and it's like, it's poking fun really good at 3D films. Like Harold says at one point, it's 3D's jumped the shark recently, hasn't it? And they're poking fun, and it's really good. Anyways, the joint is thrown out the window. It comes around. The window on the other side of the house opens up, and the joint comes back into the house and lands on Danny Trejo's Christmas tree. Starts on fire, and they have to throw it out of the house, and that's where the whole movie begins. Harold and Kumar have to find a Christmas tree to replace it just before the whole family comes back from midnight mass. And hilarity ensues as they try to find this Christmas tree. There's points where they are in a Neil Patrick Harris musical in the background. There's a lot of miscellaneous points. It's like, whoa, calm down. There's a point where
This is part of the music video segment.
Yeah, there's a music video segment that's kind of towards the middle part where Neil Patrick Harris is doing his musical shtick.
Oh, so so this is some hallucination that they're having, I guess.
No. The hallucination part's actually the best part of the film. There's a point in the film where they go to a Christmas party. They think they're gonna get the tree, but they have to do a beer pong competition. There's drugs at the party, cocaine, ecstasy, all that stuff. So what happens in the long run? Shit happens. Cocaine gets blown in the air, and Harold Kumar is snuffing, in the air the cocaine. They hallucinate, and they hallucinate themselves as a claymation special. They're all stop motion animated, and it's actually animated by Lycan.
Leica?
Leica.
Yeah, they animated that segment for Harold Kumar Christmas.
Oh, must be the only decent part in the film.
It is. It's really cool because they're tripping balls, and Kumar sticks out his dick, and you see the claymation dick in 3D, and then this
Take
giant
that back, then. Oh my gosh.
There's a.
And the same people that brought you Coraline and Paranorman, freaking Kumar Dick, for a Christmas special.
There's a giant snowman that comes by trying to attack him, with a giant snowman's like running around the city. They climb up a tree and they see a squirrel, and and that cuts between real life where they're in the park and they're like telling the kid, "Oh, you're so cute, you're so cute, yeah, you are, you." And then when they're just like screaming in the park when the snowman comes in and it's like, and then it goes back to normal again. But it's just one segment of it. It's just they pay homage to the claymation,
Hmm.
which is one of my favorites. Yeah. Neil Patrick Harris is back in it, even though he was killed in the second one. They did a cool like little flashback thing where they explained how he came back to life, and they explained that Neil Patrick Harris goes to heaven, meets Jesus, and Jesus Christ gets so jealous. He's like, "Hey, Dad, we gotta 86 this guy. He's stealing my chicks, man." Something like that, and he comes back to life because Jesus was so jealous because Neil Patrick Harris is the man. And
Apparently.
at the time of this movie, NPH was announced that he was gay, so they put the whole gay thing into it where they're both faking it. Like his real life husband, is in the film playing an alternative version of himself, where he's just a guy who's coming along into his gay stage, like he's just pretending, just for publicity and all that stuff. He's got a wife and kids, and I guess he gives Neil Patrick Harris some drugs in between. So there's something like that to see on the other side of the road.
Wait, hold on. I just checked a bit on who did the animation. Apparently, it's this studio called House Special. I don't think it's Leica.
You want me
House
to fact check that?
specialty.
Yeah.
Want me to fact check that?
I just did.
I will fact check it again because I read it exactly word for fucking word.
All right, I want to see where you found it.
I will fact check that for you, buddy. But like I said, there's a lot of other hilarity. Let's see what else. Oh, there's a whole segment about a toy that gets advertised on TV. It's called a Waffle Bot. Oh, the Waffle Bot's like the best character in the film, where it's a robot serves waffles, and he does help out for Helen Kumar at one point, and it's very funny because he's a badass in the film. Waffle Bot. Yeah, it says right here, animators of Leica created the
see.
claymation scene. It's on the Wikipedia page.
Oh, Wikipedia.
If you look under production on Wikipedia, hold on.
Well, I found it on IMDb. Like,
Hold on, let me check the IMDb. Trying to think.
I don't like. Maybe it's people from Leica, but I wouldn't believe it's Leica. It's like in Leica production. Hold on, let me see. Blah 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 blah. Where the fridge is you see? Okay, where's Leica?
Just read under production. It should be a
Yeah, huh? Okay, yeah. Animators of Leica created the animation scene. Where's the proof?
Get the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, they don't really have like a source stuff, so this is honestly a little bit doubtful.
Wow, we're gonna debate about this because I swear they are credited.
Were they actually credited in the movie?
Yes, they were
Like
fucking
Leica?
credited.
Like Leica themselves?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. I swear to fucking God they were credited. I swear to God. Yes, that's the whole highlight. It even looks like, the other freaking... Here, you want to go in there? Hold on. I'll you started something for me. You started something really bad. Look, if you look on Leica's Wikipedia page, it's credited under a contract work.
Hold on.
Can't we
Okay,
just believe
hold on, what?
him, Matt?
Yeah, whatever. But like,
It's on his, let me see. It might be on their IMDb actually. Let me check this out.
I'll see it.
yeah, I put you a link. Like,
IMDb isn't exactly the most credible source for Hollywood information. Let's be honest here. It's
Well,
basically movie Wikipedia, only with more trolls.
It doesn't say on.
oh
I guess
god.
it doesn't say on IMDb.
I swear, the people on IMDb, like, I looked at the message board at one point, I was like, I'm done. I can't even.
And those
like,
are the people who are editing this website, so why are you using it as the be-all, end-all information
No.
source?
I've been using Wikipedia the whole time, so it's on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia's better than IMDb.
I know, and it's under Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is only good if they actually have a source cited there. If they just sort of say something willy-nilly, I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't recommend
Well,
it. You know.
All right.
yeah.
Well, all right. So if you look at the Leica page, it's under contract work, and there is a source where there's an article that says about it. It was a Q&A with the director,
Okay.
and so it's referenced. It's there on Wikipedia.
Alright.
I think.
Well, I don't really want to
there-
do a
there's-
major argument with you, so
I'm not. I'm just.
This is not worth the rage.
yeah, this is not rage worthy. So
So that's not. I'm just trying to prove something that it's there, and you should just look deeper.
no,
I did
because
my
like I
research for
just
the film
want
and
no,
you-
but for me, it's just I feel so intrigued that like
It
it's
is,
just so
I know,
intriguing because like
it's-
usually with Rankin-Bass, people associated with bad stop motion, like really cheapy kind, and Leica
Yeah.
is pretty much known as one of the best stop motion studios in the world.
I know.
It was like
I know.
And I actually checked out a little bit of a clip. Funny enough, it reminds me a bit more of Will Vinton than Leica right now. Funny enough, like the Will Vinton
Yeah.
style.
Yep. That's what it was. It was like, kind of like the Will Venn.
Yeah, the
kinda
Will
era
Vinton claymation. Yeah.
animation. Yeah. That's what it was. That's what it looked like in the film. But yeah, I mean, there's one point where Harold's dick gets stuck, frozen to a pole, like in A Christmas Story with the tongue. Um, you know, they get a shotgun, shoot in the air, and it hits Santa by accident. Shoots Santa down. Santa helps out. It's actually a really good adventure. If you like Harold and Kumar, and it's.
There's the kicker, isn't it?
It's-
That's the real trick. If you like Harold and Kumar.
Exactly. I'm not forcing you guys to watch it. I'm saying if you like Harold and Kumar, if you like the first two films, you will like this one, and you might add this to your Christmas watch list.
I
this
don't-
year, like
I
did.
don't know. LT liked the first two, Harold and Kumar's. He watched the third one, said it was garbage.
Here's the thing.
And
I
everybody
don't
has-
begrudge Harold and Kumar its existence. Like, if you're gonna have this genre of two idiots who do drugs and like chicks but don't get laid doing raunchy comedies, I like that there's a version that's not two white guys. I think that it contributes
Right.
and I guess it's moderately more clever than, like, your Dumb and Dumbers. Not as clever as your Jay and Silent Bobs, but, it's in that middle ground. It's really, really not my kind of humor. It has...
Yeah, because
there are
non-whites
parts of
deserve to
jokes
be
that
portrayed as idiots, correct?
as like idiots in like the same way that they're not stereotype characters, like their families kind of are, and I'm willing to bet Danny Trejo probably is. But the two characters, they act like typical stoners. You could replace them with white guys and nothing would change. I appreciate when that happens, especially with Middle Eastern characters who are kind of having a rough time right now since
Okay.
the past few decades.
And I guess if you were to look at IMDb on the trivia page for the film, it does say Leica provided the stop motion animation for it. It's under trivia, so.
Okay.
But there's subtle, clever jokes in it. Like there's one point where they go to this party and the guy, because Harold and Kumar have been separated for a while, so they meet new people as friends. So I think Amir from Jake and Amir of College Humor is in this film. I don't know why, but he's in this film, and he says a clever line where he says, "Oh, I told you that I tell people that Kumar worked at the White House, and at the time he wasn't working at the White House." It was a kind of like wink, wink. Yeah, it's a funny reference.
I don't get it. Is it referencing
Because Cal Penn, the actor, was working as a.
at the White House.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
Okay, but
There
you
was
need
a
to know
whole.
quite a bit. You need to know quite a bit
About
about
the
that
actor
actor in
himself.
order to get that.
Yeah, it's like
joke.
an inside joke,
It-
right?
It's an inside joke, and the same with there's another one like an inside joke where they say, "Let's drop this Christmas tree off at Sulu's." John Cho plays Sulu in the Star Trek films.
Mm,
If
So
you
it's a
want to
lot of
reference their
inside.
former work, at least make like an analytical comment, like, remember when Kumar worked at a hospital and died really randomly? I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I know. It's very.
yeah, there was a bit of a controversy. I remember Cal Penn actually had his character on House killed off when he had to leave the show
That is what I
and
was referencing.
go.
He
Yeah.
was a perfectly fine character, and one day it was just realized, oh, he committed suicide. What? What? When did he ever show any signs? He didn't. He didn't. He just randomly one day decided, well, I'm just gonna inject myself with a suicide medicine. Now I'm gone. Okay, let's just get over it.
He-
Oh well.
So yeah, like I said, if you like Harold and Kumar and you didn't like the second one, but you're interested in the third one, this might be a thrill ride for you. Like I'm a big stoner comedy guy.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, in the film, and Neil Patrick Harris says, "Hey, see you in the fourth one."
Oh God.
So,
With that,
so
do you think there's?
I'm hoping for a fourth
Foot in
one.
mouth. Foot in
I'm-
mouth, please.
I'm hoping there's a fourth one. I'm hoping.
You're hope
that'll be the.
either that or the people who don't want it. They're hoping like this would be another case of Banjo 3.
It's something to wait along for while you wait for Toy Story 4, right?
Oh
No,
my!
we're not.
We're
gonna
doing
do
a
that.
sequel.
You know it's sad that nowadays it's like people are gonna watch Muppets Most Wanted and go, it's funny because it's true. That's the worst thing.
Remember when news? Hey guys, remember when news of sequels got people excited? Like everybody's like,
Sometimes.
"Yay,
Oh,
another
yeah.
movie with characters I love," and now it's just like, "Oh God, no, please,
Yeah.
not this movie,
I still,
not the movie I like."
I just feel embarrassed.
I-
The fact it's like, oh my God, Gonzo was right all along.
I have a mix of both. I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, a Rio 2 is gonna happen. Okay, a Rio 3 is gonna happen.
A real
Wait, a
three.
real
You
3
know.
is what?
A
A
real
real
three?
3?
What the fuck else
No.
are they gonna tell? Like,
No,
well,
you
they
I
have
didn't.
the one on the
No,
closet.
I didn't actually. I didn't actually mean that was gonna happen.
Okay,
I
thank you.
was
Stop
just
making
saying.
up sequels, James. Stop making
I
up
know an
sequels
Ice
because
Age-
we believe you.
I know an Ice Age 5 is gonna happen, but
But
Well,
Yep.
that's fine.
but
Just milk
but I
that.
write the fan fiction. No.
I do the shipping with Sid and the squirrel.
So let's go into the next film, which I had to endure with James
Oh yeah.
on last Friday. He was like, "Hey, you gotta watch this film with me. It's something you gotta see to believe. Because if I said it alone, no way would believe me."
Mm-hmm.
So this is a animated film, a CGI animated film that came out last year.
Yes. Called Saving Santa. Haven't heard of this?
Saving
No?
Santa. No.
Well, neither did I until I came across it on Netflix's relentless slew of homogenous Christmas films this year. Remember how I said, okay, Santa Claus the movie is how a Christmas movie around Santa Claus should be? And I specifically gave details as to why I thought it was good. Here's the polar opposite. Here's a film that I admit is actually very well done, but is everything I don't like about current Santa films. So where do I begin? Okay. who's in this movie? We have some pretty good voice talent here. We have
There's good voice talent.
Yes, we have Martin Freeman as Bernard, an elf who is the underdog in which of this story. He's an elf trying to prove himself, and when the North Pole is taken over, and gasp, Christmas is in danger.
Yes.
The Santa
He has
Claus
to be
movies
the
from Tim Allen had an elf named Bernard.
he has to be the one to go back in time and stop Christmas from being in danger. He has to be the hero here. Where have we seen this? Well,
That was
let's see.
Santa Claus 3, wasn't it? Didn't they go back in time in that movie?
There was that. I was gonna say, Martin Freeman playing a diminutive character who's trying to rise above it all and be something bigger than what he is. What other movie have I
That's a
seen
little
Martin
too
Freeman in
vague.
that role?
There's a little
What?
too vague there, James. That's kind of like, oh, he's a little guy that has to overcome a big obstacle. That's like so many movies. You got to be a little more specific than that if you want to complain about cliches.
He's just playing Bilbo as an elf.
I don't see it. Bilbo didn't have to do something like go back in time, and he certainly didn't have to save like a whole thing. He didn't really save anybody. He was just looking for treasure for most of the Hobbit book. I don't see the connection to Bilbo. I'm sorry. It's too loose.
Well, if you've seen this movie, you probably would.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
let's see other cast members in here. We got Tim Curry
Oh,
and
that's
Ashley
the bad
Tit
guy, right?
as the bad guy.
Yes.
How'd you
you
know?
Of
guessed
course.
It, yep.
Because Tim Curry.
Yes, he has an evil Tim
That's
Curry.
Tim Curry.
It's only on Broadway
Yes.
when he can be good. Because I remember at one point he was King Arthur in Spamalot.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. And we have Ashley Tisdale.
Okay. Candace from Phineas and Ferb. I can get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley
So-
Tisdale was in Phineas and Ferb?
She's Candace, the sister.
Oh, okay.
So,
Anyways,
how can this movie go wrong? Well, here we
A lot
go.
of ways.
For starters, remember how I complained about the visual palette of Christmas movies being too bright and white and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a movie that does that. Okay, that's a minor one though. I can let that slide. To Christmas in Danger. Oh, why did they have to do this? But wait, it's for the dumbest reason ever. It is the dumbest reason ever. Tim Curry's evil plan to ruin Christmas. He is the head of a shipping company, and he wants to steal Santa's sleigh technology so he can be the fastest shipping company out there.
No, that's not the stupidest reason for ruining Christmas I've ever heard.
That's
movie.
not.
There's a movie called Olive the Other Reindeer. Okay, and it's about a dog named Olive who wants to be a
God.
reindeer. And
Is that the
because
one with
of-
Drew Barrymore or something?
Maybe,
I thought
but
that was kind of cute, actually.
okay, but
that's
the bad guy is
my
a
favorite.
The bad guy is a mailman who wants to make sure that Olive doesn't become a reindeer, so that Santa can't ride a sleigh and Christmas is ruined. Because he doesn't like Christmas because he has to deliver so many letters. That's his motivation. He hates his
Part of
job, so he wants to ruin Christmas.
Part
As
of
a
it sounds like
mailman.
Burgermeister.
That's pretty dumb, but at least that's slight. That's pretty dumb, but at least that's slightly. That's just ever so
It's just like
slightly
traditional.
understandable.
Yeah, it's like
Debatable.
traditional. It's
Yeah.
like the Grinch or Burgermeister.
Like, dude, you should
Mhm.
be happy. You're probably getting paid overtime.
toys.
And he's also doing it because his mother wants him to. Tim Curry's mother, played by Joan Mitchell, I think it was,
I think so. Yeah.
is commanding the fronts properly. No reaction given to her,
So
except
Bernard
she's
has to
just.
stop the family from ruining Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I thought. Mother
So,
always told me that Christmas is a useless holiday.
I'd like to go stuff some birds now. He's it's Norman Bates as a sweet transvestite ruining Christmas. So, what else can I say? Well, the concept of using time travel, it's explained that um, Bernard Santa. Well, okay. Santa uses time travel in his sleigh as his secret to deliver all the toys on time. So Bernard goes back in time to the beginning of the day, tries to stop himself from uh, from accidentally aiding this guy and ruining Christmas, blows that, and ends up going back in time again to stop himself from saving Christmas again. And so he keeps going back in time in this movie to save Christmas and stop himself from screwing up. And he keeps on piling on top versions of himself here. And you're kind of at this point where, okay, dude, figure out something else, because we're just watching the same movie. We're watching the same scenes of the movie over.
They're using the same scenes. It's like they're just copy and pasting.
Yeah.
It is. It's like Groundhog's Day, but it's worse.
No, you know what it reminds me of is that one episode in Family Guy where Peter decided to ask Death to travel back in time, so he wished he would never meet Lois again, and he had to repeat that over. He regretted his mistake, so he.
That's a great
he
episode.
asked
Yeah.
over and over again, but that was cleverly. That was actually clever. That is
clever.
It was really smart what they did. That actually made that actually made fun a bit of those time traveling plots and stuff like that. But the Bernard thing, it really sounded lazy. That really sounds lazy. They're just doing it so that they don't have to repeat. They could reuse the same animation over and over again. I'm just wondering, James, do you think they repeat it as much as the animated Titanic movie with the rapping dog?
No, they do it more here.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They don't even shorten some segments. I mean, they're just like, okay, we gotta pad this thing out.
Well, yeah, because he travels in time at least 4 times in the film.
It feels
4 times.
3 or 4 times.
4 times. It was 3 or 4 times, and you see the day through different angles and perspectives, which at first it's annoying, but as I thought about it, it's okay, because when you watch this film at the beginning, you kind of notice these small things that later on get revealed later in the film. It's the stuff that happened before, he actually set it up at the towards the middle because he's trying to stop himself from fucking up too many times. That's what I noticed, at least. But it's just
it's complicated to explain, but even by the 3rd time he travels back, events and the time that it takes events to happen, the time span is wibbly wobbly loosey goosey.
wibbly wobbly timey wimey. It's a big old paradox basically. It's like there should be a paradox in this film because it's impossible.
Mm-hmm. They
It should.
things start happening out of order, or at least, like I said, the time at which it took this event to happen, somehow it's a little bit longer here. Or how long was he unconscious here? Or, at first it starts out as something clever, and then it just gets way too complicated. But here was the most irritating thing of all. Ashley Tisdale's character development. You have, okay, spoiler alert, there are songs in this movie. Some of them are actually not so bad. Martin Freeman can sing. Who knew? You didn't know?
I knew Ashley Tisdale could sing, because,
yeah.
people sing all the friggin' time on Phineas and Ferb.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got something to say about that.
High School Musical and everything.
Anyways.
But, even they get to the point where they just repeat the same songs over and over.
Yeah, because they're going back in time so many times, the songs kind of interloop, and it becomes this mishmash of a big mashup, because you hear one song in the background, then another song in the background, then another song in the background. It's like this big mashup. It's like, whoa, my ears can't handle this shit.
Well, they made it
Bernard
fit
is
together,
having Bernard is having duets with himself at one point.
Yeah.
And so, where does Ashley Tisdale come in to play? She is some elf CIA style agent who thinks at first that he might be a threat to Santa's operation. But during the third traveling back in time, she at the drop of a pen decides to go ahead and sing a song to lift Bernard's spirits, to bring him up and be a hero. No, she has this bipolar character switch here. You don't know what her motivation is, and it just seems like this character was a token throwaway. Like we needed a girl. Exactly. Thank you, Jada. You had to say it for me.
She's like the only girl elf I've noticed in the film.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much the Smurfette of elves.
It's like she's the Smurfette of the elves.
Except Smurfette did shit. Like, Smurfette didn't just exist in the background and then hey, I've got a motivational song for you, protagonist. Well, off I go again.
No, Smurfette was more fleshed out than this, I think.
Probably,
that's the problem. That's the problem here. Do they, you get introduced to this character, it's kind of like, oh, do they kiss at the end of the movie? You bet. Ooh, I didn't see that coming either.
Martin Freeman is twice Ashley Tisdale's age, and that's kind of weird, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm. It's...
I don't know, I mean, their voices, but still.
There are some moments where they try to save this movie with the whole Christmas spirit thing, and it almost works. It almost works, but I can't overlook everything else that happened. It seemed like there was just a forced. Everything about this movie was just forced.
Yes.
I mean, we gotta. What is this? We gotta make a Christmas movie, so let's just make the most.
I'm a little happy that Tim Curry's still getting work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, Tim Curry is one of those untouchable kind of people. No matter what he'll do, you're still gonna forgive him because he's Tim Curry.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna want to come back and hear that voice again.
Yeah, exactly.
But so there's something I do want to mention about the film that James kind of forgot, which was kind of annoying in the film. I had to see if it refreshes your memory. So Bernard he wants to be an inventor at Santec. There's a whole building called Santec where all the inventors invent stuff for Santa and all that stuff. So he keeps trying to save himself for not screwing up at the presentation, and he's a reindeer pooper scooper. Picks up all the reindeer shit, and so one of his prototypes was a universal translator for the reindeer. So Blitzen has this like universal translator, and Bernard can't figure out how to put it in English. So throughout the whole damn movie, you see Blitzen talking to Bernard in gibberish.
What movie did we see this before in? Squirrel. Or how about this one? Steve.
Steve.
Oh yeah, because it's
You
just
get my point, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a theme where the talking, through the collar invention thing. And of course, Santa's like, "What is this on his neck?" And Bernard explains, and he's like, "I can't figure out how to do it in English." And then Blitzen starts speaking in gibberish, and Santa starts speaking gibberish. I'm like, wait a minute, gibberish is not a fucking language. How do you speak gibberish?
I'm Santa Claus.
Maybe
I can
it's
speak all the
reindeer
languages in the world.
Like that
Santa says
adorable scene in Miracle on 34th Street where he speaks Dutch, only stupid.
Well, because Santa said I can speak any language, and I'm thinking, okay, that's understandable. But gibberish is not a fucking language. It's a made-up language. Like, it's not reindeer talk, it's gibberish, as they said in the movie. But later on, he gets development, like, all of a sudden, the device works, and he speaks English. It's like, dude, did Bernard fix that, or did that happen, like, by itself? Like,
last 5 minutes of the movie, it works out of the blue.
It's just like the kinks must have worked out, like trying to smash it. It's a convoluted, I wasn't expecting a time travel film. I was like thinking, Save Santa, okay, it's gotta be like one of those action adventure kind of things where Santa gets kidnapped, you have to save Santa. But no, it's gotta be a time travel movie where you have to push in this time travel device, and you have to go back in time to fix the mistakes, which, there's precautions when it comes to time travel. If you were gonna make a time travel movie, this would have been like a big paradox. Might destroy the universe, for crying out loud. I like my time travel films to be, in the laws of time travel, like the way it's supposed to, to follow it. But Saving Santa was so rushed, they just said, "Fuck it, let's just do it."
At least they don't have him interacting with himself. That's at the very least.
He's trying to voice himself, of course, but but everything else is just. I mean, animation's great. It's not a crappy animated movie. It's one of those straight DVD movies, but they make effort in animation. But the story and the writing is just all over the place.
It's lazy. It's uninspired, and hey, reindeer poop.
Hey, it could be worse, James. They could be eating it during a musical segment with a literal crap-eating grin.
But they have Santa's introduction scene in this movie. Bernard accidentally flings reindeer poop onto him.
And joy of joys.
And he says, "Oh, it's okay. You fly behind reindeer as long as I have. You get used to getting hit by a few warm brownies here and there."
Oh man!
Oh, good God!
That's
what the milk and cookies are for, right, guys?
No.
Wash it down.
Oh, good God! If he considers reindeer poop brownies. I don't even want to know what he thinks about milk.
You had to go there. You had to go there for the dirty-minded people out there.
Yes, I
It
tried
had to be
milk
done.
but-
It had to be done.
That came out of the mouth of the clean, squeaky Animax.
Well, I tried to milk it, but it turned out it wasn't a female.
Oh! Oh my god!
I'm
So,
not acknowledging any of you.
Oh!
I hope you enjoy this extra long,
Extra,
Cinema
extra,
Royale holiday
extra
special.
long.
Extra long Cinema Royale holiday special.
Ow.
We will be back next year in 2015 with another new season of episodes.
Did you hear about the guy who got his entire left side removed? He's all right now.
Look at the baggie! Look at the baggie!
Oh.
Merry Christmas!
La, 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 la. No, no, I know the perfect way to end this. You are my precious sweet forgotten and all is. Oh no, wait, oh crap, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh,
bless us,
God, and go right away for the land of the free and the home of the brave. We gotta end it off in a Christmas vacation way.
Alright then. I'm not even gonna tell you what the next episode is, because you guys seem to want to end this so fucking fast.
Now, come
God
on,
bless us,
Mike, tell
everyone.
us. Come on. Come on, Mike, can we do the guessing game?
Okay, let's see. I'm trying to think of clues. Let's see. Well, first off, it's gonna be an actor-focused episode. Look at the filmography of an actor.
Johnny Depp! I don't know.
He is known for a lot of films. Some, God, I don't want to. There's obvious roles he's played.
Dibs on the obvious ones.
He has like a deep, raspy voice. He often plays
James Earl Jones.
He often plays wildly animated. He also displays wildly animated facial expressions. You know, he often plays
Did Robin
eccentric
Williams.
characters.
All low, raspy voice.
Raspy voice.
Danny DeVito?
If you want me to do obvious clues, I'll give you
Oh.
obvious clues.
Is it
Arnold?
We get Arnold?
Arnold doesn't have much in the way of facial expressions. Let's be real here. And his characters aren't all that eccentric.
Let's see. Let me do some lines. I was frozen
Oh
today.
my god, Lloyd!
Christopher Lloyd.
I would describe his voice as raspy, but that's fine.
That's what IMDb says.
Well, again, IMDb! They are not trustworthy.
Oh no! His voice is only raspy when he does like this. When he goes very eccentric.
There is this show. Oh, I think I might have an idea of one of them to talk about.
Well, I know
And
that I have
no,
dibs.
people, if you're watching this, no, I'm not doing freaking that one. Hell no.
That's. You know which one?
There's another one I got an idea for.
Okay.
So yeah, next time we're gonna talk about all about our favorite,
Our favorite
actor when it
movies.
comes.
With Christopher Lloyd.
Lloyd.
So until next time, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
and we'll see you all in 2015.
This is Jesse Mock, an ex-motorcycle cop injured in the line of duty. Now a police troubleshooter. He's been recruited for a top-secret government mission to ride Street Hawk, an all-terrain attack motorcycle designed to fight urban crime, capable of incredible speeds up to 300 miles an hour, and immense firepower. Only one man, Federal Agent Norman Tuttle, knows Jesse Mock's true identity. The man, the machine, Street Hawk.
Are we done yet? Are we done?
Alright, stop.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Dibs. I have dibs. I have
We haven't
dibs.
talked about Roger Rabbit. Oh, well, you haven't talked about it, so. We've already talked about Back to the Future.
Yep, we
Okay,
did.
this is gonna be crazy, but I want. Okay, this is gonna be insane for me to do this, but I call dibs on Oogie Loves. I want to.
Wait. You're
You can
taking
have
dibs
it.
on
Oogie Loves.
You want that dibs, yet you don't want to do food
No,
fight.
hell no. I
Those are you? Oh my god, this is gonna be a great episode. If
I don't
you
want to
guys,
do
oh my
fight
god.
just yet. I'm saving
Good
that
luck.
when I'm actually gonna do a review on it.
Good luck watching that film, man. You're gonna have a tough time watching Oogie Loves.
I want to do it no matter what. I don't care.
Oh my god.
Can't I do something like? Oh wow, he was in the last Sin City movie. Huh.
Oh my god. No, but seriously,
I
I
want to
don't
do
want
Over
to.
the
I'm
Garden
saving
Wall.
Food Fight until like when I do an actual review of it. Like I have yet to
That's
see
fine.
like
That's
Phaelus
fine.
and
I was just
Red's
wondering.
review.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I understand.
But Oogie Loves.
Yeah, you guys can take dibs now. Like, figure out what you want to do. 'Cause I
My
got mine
second
in
one,
my
I
head.
don't know just yet.
I knew what I wanted to do for me. You said his name. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Done.
Okay.
Fine. Put your 2 cents about Christopher Lloyd in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, even though we talked about Who Framed Roger Rabbit with Bob Hoskins' voice.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we talked about it already. It's a movie worthy of several discussions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Complex enough.
especially Christopher Lloyd's character. I mean, come on, you gotta talk about the character at least.
Yeah.
I mean, when we talked about it in Bob Hoskins' episode, we just focused on his role
Yeah.
mostly, so it kind of is kind of worth talking about it again.
Okay. I might have to watch. I might have to rewatch Dennis the Menace.
Oh, no, you don't.
Yes,
Don't do that
yeah,
to yourself.
that's a great.
Oh,
Oh man,
The Adams Family.
The
Oh,
Addams Family.
oh,
The Addams.
I
Oh
got it.
yeah.
I got it, you guys. Ooh.
I
Might
wonder
as
if
well do
there's
both
any
movies,
other
though.
animated film. I wonder if there's other animated films he did.
Because they're
Yeah,
basically the same
DuckTales the
Ocean's
package.
movie.
Ride. Oh, I could do DuckTales the movie.
there you go.
Oh, sweet, sweet. I can do that. Okay, yeah. So far, I'll put on hold DuckTales the movie.
And yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So everybody's
Oh,
got a movie except you, Mike.
Clue.
Clue. Clue's pretty good.
Yeah, Clue's always good.
Star Trek.
I got one in mind.
Star Trek 3 for you.
Couldn't we save Clue for a Tim Curry discussion?
The
Unless you've done
Page
one of those
Master.
already.
Yes, the
Yeah,
Page Master.
Mike?
Of course.
We can, yeah.
Page
We can
Master
talk
is
about
actually
it.
not a bad choice. I mean, they were trying hard with that movie.
It's kind of like Fern Gully. It's stupid, but it has a good heart,
Yeah, yeah.
and the animation's really nice.